Welcome back, everybody. I'm Nick Dichiria, joined by Sean Green and Will Stuart in the background in Kansas City, Missouri for the Tournament of Champions 2022, brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts. This morning, we saw an incredulous finals, Chrissy Grimmel versus Meredith McGee in the women's CSI, with Chrissy walking away with $5,000 for the second time. And some great darts we saw, didn't we, Sean? Oh, boy. It's been a long day already.
Well, Nate, I thought you'd never ask. It's been a long day so far. I can't believe you messed up my name. Well, I'm Sean Green. Buddy, it was a pleasure to see Chrissy Grimmel play so well. When they got to those finals, the final match, and the triple dip had to happen with Meredith. First of all, for Meredith to double dip just to get to the king seat, beating Chrissy Davis out of Texas.
She was focused, she was in form, and she really wanted that. And while second place, when she said in the interview, she was more than happy. Obviously, Chrissy Grimmel at the end of the day was the top woman in the tournament, and she had the queen seat for a reason. Yeah. But tonight, let's talk about what we have in front of us. We have our doubles. There's 21 divisions across the entire tournament hall with over 168 boards. You're going to notice it's also going to be a triple elimination format. Winner side, other than the king seat match, will be a race to 2 all crickets.
All cricket.
Then our middle bracket, loser side, is going to be cricket 01 crickets. Fat Bowl open outs.
Yep.
And then our final bracket, the last chance side, is going to be just like we saw before, a single game of cricket, $750 for the winning team, and we're excited to get into the action.
Guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with our first match call.
In our first match here, Kyle Liddicky, Jamie Kopp playing on one of our boards in the streaming room here. And let's get right into the doubles. What do you say, Sean?
Yeah, this is going to be a great matchup we have. Kyle Liddicky stepping up to the line. Our first look at him. Love how it's getting going here tonight.
This is on the no cap winner side. So Johnny and Kyle are going to be in the 50K pool here. And then we have Carlos and Jamie being in the 50K pool as well. Now that 50K pool, what that means is that there's a supercharger here. Every person across these next 4 days in the doubles or triples events that wins will get a share of $50,000 if they have a 50K next to their name, which is the top 500 players prior to this.
Yeah, there is Dr. Handsome himself, Johnny Lackey. They're both at 620. What do you think here, bud? Do you go 18 first, close it, and shoot a dart at the 20? Do you go 20s first, just so you don't waste that second dart?
This is game 3. It's now or never to take a shot for the win here.
We're not seeing anything.
Unfortunately, right now, was only able to get 1 bull.
It's the wrong board.
But that being said, Jamie here looking... as we switch over to the right board there. Jamie looking to close this one out. This is game 3, so winner takes this and moves on to the king seat match.
And he gets it. Wow. So Carlos Saxby and Jamie Kopp take down Johnny Lackey and Kyle Liddicky. They move on to take on Jules and Mike Carter. It's a 50K. Sorry.
Mike Carter, yep. So we're going to see an interesting king seat match here, because this is that no cap bracket that we've seen time and time again.
Yeah, and let's also mention that Jules and Mike, along with their third, did win the open trips this morning as well.
That is true. Well, we're going to get that next board loaded up for you right away. We have a lot of action. This streaming room is full. We're constantly pulling up players and looking for the action, as there's plenty of it to be found.
Yeah, absolutely. It's.
Do we want to take a look at that bracket real quick, guys?
Sure. I have to re-pull up.
All good, all good. I'll wait
Give me
for it
one
to
sec.
sync and get us.
It's ready
Apologies
whenever
for
you
the out-of-sync audio-visual there on our opener. I kind of dealt with that and then realized when Sean yelled at me for not having the right board on there.
You should be
so
ready with that. I believe.
Apologies. There you are. You ready?
Yep.
There we go. Let's take a look.
So you see there, Johnny and Kyle did just lose that one. So they're going to be on board 1B. Jules and Mike versus Carlos and Jamie. If we scroll over, I'm going to try to do it slowly for those of you who are a little bit motion sickness. You got Isaac Robinson and Johnny Jenkins taking on Jeremiah and Soldier right now on 1C. Oh, boy. That's going to be a heck of a battle. And you got Rick Hensey and Ken Rip taking on Brian. That's going to be Brian Dennis and Jesse Gore. They're on 1A currently. You scroll on down through and see Austin and Daryl there are waiting on Brandon and John, or John and Matt. That'd be Brandon Neal and John Edwards. John Pilgrim, Matt Graff. That one's going on board 1E right now. And then the Laughing Assassin, Jordan Meyer and Ben Baxa, or Gary and Cole and James Williams going on currently right now. And the winner of that gets Bob and Steve. Scuba Steve and Bob Anderson.
And Mike Redmond, you were right in the chat there. Carter did play with Brian Diz and Jesse Gore, so
yep.
Different Mike. That was a slight miscommunication as we have a lot of different things going as we're trying to monitor 21 brackets. That's a lot of players playing right now.
Yeah, and also I was lying to you anyway, I think.
Well, you heard it here first.
All right, so this is Brian Dennis, Jesse Gore, Ken Rip, and Rick Hensey. We saw Rick on Monday, CSC Challenger Series, try to give Soldier everything he could, eventually losing 9-8, but seemingly right there, bud.
Right there, I mean, here's the thing. Right there is not enough in this great, great match. I mean, anything that you see out here, these players are playing for perfection. They're playing to really show why they're excellent and why they wanted the TOC back. A lot of times to develop your name, your brand, and your darts. In the meantime, since the last time we had a TOC in person.
Who's that? In the orange?
The guy in the orange?
Yeah, who's that in the orange?
Oh, I think we know who that is.
Definitely not ugly.
Mr. Jules Van Dongen. That guy.
Well, you got a picture with him earlier. Did you ask for his picture or did he ask for yours?
He said, let's take a picture, man.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he said, let's take a picture
Dang
with
it,
you in
he's
that
never done
spiffy
that with
outfit.
me.
Yeah, right? I had to beg him. And then pay him $20.
He was like, what funeral did you come from? And I said, my home, buddy.
He's had to put up with us all day. He's probably about ready to die.
So what we'll do here, folks, is we do got a match on board 1 and board 2. Board 2 is going to be our obligation. That's a king seat match, correct, fellas?
Correct.
It is, yes.
Well, board 1B, sorry.
Yep.
R2, board 1B here in the bullpen.
Yeah, you see Mike Carter.
The first thing I said to Mike Carter when I saw him, I was like, man, I thought you were taller. He said, I've got that a lot. I was like, maybe it's just Jen and her graphics that make it seem that way.
He does look a lot taller in picture form. I see a Soldier behind him.
Who's that? Who's Soldier? I haven't heard of him.
It's Leonard Gates.
Oh.
He's, right now, he's sitting on the king seat for Division 1 of the CSC Challenger Series.
When does that show take place? Is that like a thing? What is the CSC?
Well, why don't you tell us since you own it and run it?
Oh,
own
yeah.
It. You don't own it, but you run
I
it.
do not own it. But no, the CSC Challenger Series, if you guys are not familiar, is a show we do every Monday and Wednesday. We run 2 seasons a year of basically the top 60 or so shots going across the PPD here. Top 500 players qualify to play for over $15,000 in prizes.
Sean just opens up his Mountain Dew and looks at me like, maybe I should have turned off my mic for that one.
Nah, I
You
try
got
to do it quietly.
do.
People think we're...
Don't worry about it.
Bush lattes.
If you don't say it, no one's going to think it. All right. Roxy Callie saying, hey, Dad. Jules loves his photos. He cracks me up at Chicago Bullshooter. Brent Cervelli, who's been with us all day long. Mike Redmond says he's definitely not taller. So this is our king seat match. Whenever it gets over to it, Jules Van Dongen, Mike Carter, And they're taking on Jamie Kopp and Carlos Saxby.
Just look around. I mean, take a look at this room and really appreciate the high average room that it is. I mean, if you look, and even if you count the bleachers, I feel like the average in this room is still above a 5 with all these amazing shots.
I mean, you see Bob Anderson back there sitting down.
Casually.
I mean,
Scuba Steve's behind the tripod.
Is he?
Yeah, he's back there as well. Numerous CSC Challenger Series participants in the room.
Important announcement here. I finally got my Damn You Scuba Steve shirts.
Hey!
He ran out of me. He's like, hey, it's a long overdue. It's actually sitting right behind me there. So I'm going to attach a collar to it and wear it down the hall.
That is great. I think we're getting a match here on board number 4. I actually want to take a look over there, see who we got. Oh, got that Jordan Meyer?
The laughing assassin himself. I actually had a chance to interview him, and he was laughing.
Is that Cole?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go.
I think so. Let me make sure.
Jesse Johnson in chat saying, any of these guys good? Never heard of them.
Yeah. This is Ben Baxa and Jordan Meyer taking on Gary and Cole and James Williams.
And then Mark Summers here. So many good shots, I don't even feel worthy to watch. We're not worthy.
Well, welcome to our life.
We'll go ahead and keep it on board number 4 just for in the meantime until our matches start on either board 1 or board 2. Our focus is probably going to be on board 1B, that board number 2 that we're describing as that's our king seat match.
Well, here is Gary and Cole. Gets himself 7 mark to open up. As a laughing assassin himself, Jordan Meyer steps to the line.
And Jules will tell you, Jordan Meyer's playing phenomenal. He's having a really informed tournament from what it sounds like. He hit earlier 3 9 marks in a row, I was told. So he's just really feeling good. In his interview, he came off super confident.
This is James Williams, horror movie aficionado. Looking back up at the 20s, only gets himself a 2 mark. So now Ben can step up and maybe do a little something here.
Let's be transparent here. Looking at the players in this room and the fact that this is a no-cap event, you have to play near perfect to come out on top today. You have to be averaging 5.5s plus to really say confidently I have a good chance to win. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I would absolutely, with the likes of Soldier and Jeremiah on the same team, with the likes of Jules Van Dongen and Mike Carter on the same team. Yeah, you're going to have to throw at least 5.5.
And I mean, you can't blame any players for getting eliminated or not eliminated. I've once played in a no-cap doubles by accident because I thought I signed up for a capped event, 2018, my first year, as I was making my first couple mistakes and the lessons learned in darts. And I got the pleasure, I believe it was Wes White and Kyle Liddicky, gave me a prompt exit in the no-cap bracket with me and my partner with a collective average of 5-0 between the both of us at the time.
Yeah, I'm sure that was pretty quick.
It was. I actually did miss a outshot in 0-1, though. I actually had a chance.
Well, at least you're hanging on to that. This is only one leg of cricket, man. We are in the last chance bracket for this.
When one game's on the line, every dart feels a lot more intense. They feel heavier. They feel like they're flying funny. You're thinking about it more. Palms sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy.
He's vomiting on his sweater already, Mom Spaghetti.
How'd you know?
Because he's nervous. But on the surface, he looks calm and ready to drop bombs.
And
but he keeps on forgetting the words that he wrote down. The whole crowd grows so loud. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's nervous.
Oh,
you're welcome.
My word.
You are welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be here all week, actually.
Didn't know we had a pack of M&Ms.
Austin Braswell saying, loving the stream. Thank you, brother.
The funny thing about that interaction, because you can hear Will's disapproving tone in the background, he has the ability to mute us. He chose not to.
Yeah, absolutely. Susan Baxa, tuning in to watch Ben. Let's go, Benny. Justin Boyd said, let's go Psycho, a.k.a. James Williams. I could see that with that jersey that he's wearing. That's a good nickname.
You know, so this hasn't been posted yet. But when I did talk with Jordan Meyer prior to the tournament starting,
these guys are in the no cap.
I had a talk with Jordan Meyer, and he said, you know, it seems like I always end up in these events where there's really tough brackets, whether it be the CSC, CSI, or anything else. And they always call me an underdog, but I always seem to win a few matches. And that's all I can say. And I think it describes Jordan Meyer. He is here to have fun, and he's here to upset every now and again. That's someone you can never count out, as he really is a dark horse in any bracket.
Yeah, I don't know who's calling him a dark horse in the bracket. As Ben stepping up, gets himself a 4 mark. And you can tell it actually was a 4 mark because it drug out the 17 and left the single in the board.
Jesse Johnson saying, man, the broadcasting doesn't work out. At least you can fall back on your rap career, Sean.
Well, I have been called the songbird of my generation. And I can do it all. Here's Garion. Garion has a unique release that you can't really see in the camera views that we've had from him in the CSC Challenger Series.
And he's someone that plays out of, I want to say, the shot spot, if that's correct, for the CSC. Someone tried to feature a few times and have got a chance to talk to in interviews. Dylan's messing saying, late to the party, how many teams left? Right now we're just about over halfway through the no-cap bracket. We let the players get a head start on us, as Austin Braswell lets us know the King Seat match is about to start. I think he might be in the room giving us some live updates.
Yeah, it looks like Jules, Mike, Jamie, and his partner, I didn't hear the name on him, are just taking their final warm-ups now
Carlos.
on board 1B. Carlos?
Yep.
All right, thank you, sir.
That's the name I'm choosing. I'm sticking to it. I'm kidding. That's actually his name. His name's Carlos.
We do apologize for the slight hiccup and dirty air on our little player cam here. We're trying to figure that one out. Did some messing around with it. No avail. So Will may have a long night on his hands, but we'll figure it out.
Psycho and Garion both out of shot spot. All
There
right,
you go.
so yeah, I was on the money
nice.
there.
Nice.
Peoria.
Yeah, you notice how I stopped before I got to there, because that word requires skill in reading.
Oh, you don't know Peoria? Oh, it's where the band Mudvayne is from.
Well, nobody would know that one.
Yeah, you would. If you like heavy metal music, you know Mudvayne. They're from
I do
Peoria,
not.
Illinois.
But what I do like is some heavy metal darts right now. And you kind of see this is a little bit more of a lower octane match than with some of the other stuff we see. And that's just because these players are just taking their time dialing in, knowing that they don't want to go out. I mean, each bracket win before the supercharger even comes into place, $750.
Yeah. $750 before the 50K supercharger. Those that are in the 50K supercharger, it almost seems like it always means just a little bit more.
Let's talk about the hidden prize.
Hey.
I was just going to say, the hidden prize of it all is that the big checks that they write, I actually hung mine up on the wall.
Well, look at that. You can see that jersey up close and personal is that of Mr. Jules Van Doggen.
Look at his muscles there, too. Just really priming to throw those darts.
Oh, dear Lord.
It's only weird if you make it weird, gentlemen.
You have. Congratulations. You make everything weird. Every place we go to, every event that we stream together, every night that I have to talk to you. Look at Scott Hanish in the background looking handsome.
Decent, decent.
That's the first time you complimented him, other than when you picked him to win Division 2.
Well, just because you look good doesn't mean you play good.
Is this still best of 3, gentlemen?
Unless you were Jules
This is going to
Van
be
Doggen.
a race to 4 because it is the king seat. So race to 4 on this match. Jules, to start off here.
Starts off 6 mark. Jules he averages around a 6. I'm going to be honest. He's going to average around a 6 in this.
Well, in the interview with him, he admits that soft tip is not where he identifies at, and that's going to be one of the potential shortcomings, because I asked, what does it take to beat you? And someone said someone being more comfortable playing soft tip and taking advantage of that strategy.
Well, there you go.
Because he has the ability to hit. Now, the question is, are you hitting what you need to be hitting?
Playing with Super Darts elite player Mike Carter. Just throws in a nice 5 mark.
Mike Carter from the Arizona area, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Plays out of bull shooters typically, which we see time and time again on our CSC series. And, of course, those players, Chris Watson, amongst a bunch of others out of there, show constant love and support for us. And, yeah, nothing but kind of words to say about those guys.
Troy Bending, Tolleson, Arizona is where he hails. There's our first look at Carlos Saxby, who looks very familiar now that I've seen him, Chico.
Jules,
Just,
beautiful.
yeah. And boom goes the dynamite. Jules Van Dongen with a 9 mark to follow the 6. and no one is batting an eye because they just almost expect perfection out of him.
Well, I mean, you might be used to it from your time in the CDC, but not all of us get to call PDC players all the time, so super exciting to see.
Well, it's always an honor to call any of these guys. When they do play the highest echelon of darts that you can be at, it's a bonus. See, Mike takes a step back there, got a little distracted by something. He's going to dust it right off and probably throw in a 6 mark. There is the 6 mark.
What I love about Mike Carter's throw is
it's
pacing.
smooth.
That pacing, that rhythm.
It's a pretty throw.
So wonderful to see.
Mike Carter has one of the prettiest throws.
I think it's definitely a dangerous team between Mike Carter and Jules Van Dongen. And almost you consider it a sleeper in this bracket, as you got Gates and Millar meeting up. You got Hinsey and Rip, which is great teammates. They've had multiple battles as teammates.
Well, Jules 3 bowls needed. He gets it in 2 darts. Jules averaged a 6.75. I was way off on my prediction of Jules' average.
Only a 6.75?
My
That means he missed.
goodness. Guys, hit that like button, hit that share button. Let everyone know we are live here in Kansas City, Missouri at TOC 2022 for the Open Division of Doubles. Here our opening night.
First night of some great darts ahead with the 1st through the 4th of October. I'm excited that the tournament's back in person. I know these players are. So you see Jamie start off with a wonderful 7 mark there.
I think you got to put Van Dongen instead of just Dongen.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't I? That would probably be smart.
I think it's part of his last name.
Can I just go Dutch Dragon?
Sure can.
I mean, that would be useful. Appreciate that help there, Sean.
My bad. My bad.
I'm usually not, I'm in these shoes, but not a strictly mostly production guy. Kind of a splish splash in everything.
Taking a bath type of guy?
You're me on the CSC.
It is a little weird.
That is the beautiful voice of the GOAT himself, William T. Stewart. William T. Stewart. And I'm also joined by Vito himself, Dominic Vito Dichiria III.
That's so close to being right, but so far from perfection. Not like these darts, though. Beautiful, beautiful things that we're seeing from these players. They're showing why they're in the no cap here. And you kind of almost see the disparity of when you see some of these other events, some of these players, and then you see something like this, and you're like, this feels unreal. How do you win against any of these teams?
Shout out to Jamie Kopp wearing the USA Darts hat.
I would just say that's the best hat in darts.
Well,
yeah, I've seen a couple of them
that's decent.
in the room. Appreciate that. I've also seen Rick Hinsey, Steve Diker, and numerous others rocking the USA Darts patch. So appreciative.
Jules just a bad electrician wiring the wrong side of the triple there.
I'm not going to do it. So Carlos here, they're in good control with him and Jamie. Needs to shut down those 18s, and after that, you're free to move on to whatever. Ideally, close those 18s, get those 17s opened up.
Tim Steinke asking, is that Gates and Millar teamed up in the background? Yes, it is.
And they're on the loser side.
They are already on the loser side.
They're just
But look at that. Carlos Saxby. Boom goes the dynamite.
They're in the one side losers, not that last chance.
Yeah,
correct.
Yep.
Mike Carter here, trying to make a stand, and he's really throwing a 6 mark almost every time we look at him. The difference is when you're this high in average, if no one's making mistakes, it's just down to who goes first.
Yeah. And with Jamie and Carlos having the higher ground and throwing so well on this leg, it's making all the difference.
I'm going to steal something that Sean says all the time here. Darts is not this easy, guys. As someone that has tried to play in the upper echelons as well, it is not this easy. It takes constant practice, work, dedication, and focus, all of which I lack.
I mean, a great leg of darts for an average dart player is a 4+. Great leg. These guys are going to average 5+, and most of the time end up even more than that in this type of tournament.
Well, Carlos here to take this and make it 1-all in this race to 4.
Oh, just on the wire, but it doesn't matter a whole lot. He'll be back.
It's more so the principle at that point. At this point, you're just getting practice for the next leg. Trying to just stay in the zone. No matter what happens, there's a couple legs in front of you. Because it's a race to 4, and you really do want to be on the winner's side. Because the difference is, if only one person, which is highly unlikely, but if only one person with a 50K bonus wins this entire week,
They win 50K.
they win $50,000.
I'm pretty sure that's probably already not happened, or like it's already.
Correct, but it is one of those factors because you don't know how many players are going to win it.
Jeff Ditterson, Chico. Yep, Chico doing well. 1-1 score line. Jules steps up to the line.
A very serious expression there from him.
And boom goes the dragon.
Jesse saying, is watching darts while sitting at my board considered constant practice?
Yep.
That's what
That's
we
what I
consider
do.
practice. And that's why we're in the booth. Jamie to answer. Not going to match the 9, but I mean
7 will do.
And you almost kind of knew he was going to hit the 7 beforehand. I mean, he needed that to get the point lead here. And, of course, Mike Carter, if the first start trips, he kind of has options. But really, you want to play safe in a format like this. 2 at the trip, 1 at the close. Gets the first one.
1 at the point, 2 at the point, and 3 at the point. How about that?
Well, exactly. If he hit some points there, then he was going to go over to 18. But until he had a very comfortable lead, you expect every player to go 9 mark every single time. There's no reason to expect otherwise.
Well, we hate Will. And on a separate note, it is 1-1 here. Race to 4 in the King Seat match. Jules Van Dongen and Mike Carter taking on Jamie Kopp and Carlos Saxby. And so far, this has been whoever's gone first. As Jules goes 7 mark. Plays it nice and smart.
Right now, we have over 520 people tuning in across all of our platforms on USA Darts and Partners Promoting Darts. We want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Please make sure to hit a like, subscribe, share, and do everything else because we want all of our friends to know about it.
How do you hit the like?
Honestly, it's like more so I was hitting a stutter there, and I just tried to roll with it.
Hit a like times 2 and then hit that share button.
So I'm going to look at a little update our bracket here because I do see Hinsey walking away from the board there. They're about to update it, and we're going to see how his bracket's developing. But, I mean, no matter what, you're going to be spoiled with good matches in this room.
Carlos totally just kicked the board, Cam, just so you know. Because he immediately looked up to see if it was okay, and then was like, I don't care.
Blocked himself out on those 17s there.
Yep, and only a 2 mark is killer against Jules.
Jules finds it, looking for that trip to keep that point advantage. Look at that. You're up 4 numbers. You're up in points. This is going to go back and forth to who's going first.
My, oh my. And Jamie Kopp now just has 15s to look at. And whenever you just have 15s to look at, and your opponents have 4 different wedges to look at before that, 15s don't look so hot.
Doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? There's many times where you see players mount a comeback on the 15s. This is not going to be one of those times. Carter gets it on the first, looking straight to the bull, finds the double, takes it out right here.
Yeah, he does. And we got a 2-1 score line. Jules Van Dongen and Mike Carter up 2-1. We have Dylan Messing asking, can Hensey and Soldier do a rematch, asking for the viewers.
Well, that's going to be up to Hensey because he still has either Millar or Doyle in front of him.
Yep.
for the CSC.
You have to get there first. You can see Rick Hensey in the background there. The purple and black and white jersey. And look at Jamie Kopp. Boom goes the Wisconsinite.
Jules needs to answer here. When you're going second, you have to just keep matching what your opponents do until they get a nice break for you. Fortunately, that's not the case here. Only a 3 for Jules. Any other player might be happy with that grouping. Him, you can see he is frustrated there. Carlos has an opportunity to capitalize.
Yeah, Carlos does, and Carlos probably will. These guys have done a great job, both teams, of playing with the lead. Playing with the going first. Go back to 20s. Yep. 140-point lead. I know some of people are like, why is he pointing there? What over-pointing? No, not when you're playing against these guys. Because Mike Carter, you just expect him to hit a 9 mark here. And he does. Boom goes the dynamite.
That was a very excellent call there from you, Sean. And you're right. I mean, when you're looking at these players, when you're looking at this, there's no such thing as too much points. There's no such thing as too far ahead, because there's no disrespect in pointing. It shows respect that your opponent can catch up at any moment.
Yeah.
In fact, that's what they'll encourage you to do, is point, and use all that cricket 200, because that is what they're playing. A 200-point difference is the maximum that they could have.
Yeah, and a big round there from Jamie closes out the 18s. Jules now needs a 3 mark on... Oh, he got rid of the 20s. And he hits a 9. Man, the Dutch Dragon is breathing some fire into this.
Breathing some fire? I think he's throwing some fire there right now. Look at the way those darts are hitting the board. That is a massive recovery, because he was not happy with the 3 mark on his last attempt. Just to remind everyone, it is 2-1 right now. Van Doggen, Carter versus Kopp and Saxby. We're just getting our graphics updated here in just a short moment here.
Whenever Will decides to come back to work. See him walking through the arena right there. There he's in the background. Yep, just
give a little nod to the camera.
Yep, he knew we were talking about him.
Well, Will goes to Stuart, as I like to say.
Or Broom goes to janitor, because he fits both of those, both of those roles.
A big trip on the 16 can make things interesting. Stays on the 17, though.
And that also makes things interesting. If only we could have the scoreboard updated, we'd get it for you guys. We promise. It is 2-1, Jules and Mike Carter.
Brent's saying, I've never felt worse about my dart game. Do not feel bad, because these players started the same as everybody else, unless you're Jules, and they've put a long time to get to where they are, unless you're Jules.
Colby
Some people are just born with it.
Colby says, every 9 mark I've done a shot. I might not last the match. Colby, I'm going to be honest with you, bud. Don't do that. You will die.
I'm going to be honest with you fellas. I step out of the room for 1 minute, and you fellas just go absolutely berserk. Don't know what to do with yourself.
Look at this from Jules.
Come on.
Boom goes the dynamite. Gets another one. Another shot for Colby. Yeah.
Everybody. Shot.
Oh, sorry.
Are you...
You're welcome.
What can I say except... Ah, man, my voice is so messed up right now.
Sorry, guys. The stream has been DMCA'd by Disney, unfortunately.
What can I say?
Emojis in the chat.
From Ricky Bobby.
That was just a test of the mute button in case I need to use it again, folks. Mike Carter, Jules Van Dongen, 3-1.
3-3 for Mike Carter there. And we saw Jules shoot better than that. Yeah, he shot 7.0. My, oh my.
Jules Van Dongen, Mike Carter, know this situation better than anybody. All they have to do, doesn't matter what happens this lake, they just need to hold. They need to just play smart, not take any big risks, and if they get the game right now, then they're guaranteed to make a finals appearance.
Man, would it be nice to, like, just take darts seriously for a year and make the PDC and now be one of the top players in the, well, you can just say the world. He's one of the top 128 in the world.
Jules, they're showing why he's on top. Hits a second one right there, and oh my goodness, a 7 mark there.
He
gets
missed
the lead.
Dart.
He's human. Is he human?
And Chico keeps kicking our camera. I think he's doing it on purpose now. 3-1 scoreline. Cobb and Saxby need to win the last 3 legs, or else the Wisconsinites are going to the 1-loss column.
There's a rope between these teams. They are pulling it each side. Who is going to take the flag from the middle?
You know, a little tug of war reference there?
Yeah. So it was a feature on Squid Game.
It was.
Mike Carter does take a look there. I don't know if I love that shot because it's very hyper aggressive in a situation where you're already ahead in the match. I think
Jules almost gave it like a little sly smile at it too.
It's one of the shots that only works if you hit it, as they've said time and time again.
Did you say, did you show Carlos that kicking the camera does not actually affect Jules' shot?
I walked up there and said, somebody would stop kicking the camera. I looked him dead in the soul. He goes, oh, and I'm just joking, man. That's okay. It happens.
Well, you threw off Jamie. Way to go. Only a 2 mark so far.
Yeah, he's going to hit a trip here. Guaranteed.
And commentator's curse incoming in 3, 2,
He has
1.
to. Decided to go to that 19 there. That was basically the inverse of what we just saw from Mike Carter. One of the situations where both players trying to gain an advantage for their partner and did not find it. Jules.
Well, he's just going to say goodbye to the 18s. And a little dip down. Hits the trip 19. He did a little pose for us. A little curtsy. You see that?
Was it for us or was it for all the fans?
Looks like we got John Edwards and Austin Braswell on our 1A. And then we also have Steve Hennings and Isaac Robinson, their team, on board 4. So just what's going on in the room as we speak.
Mike Carter stepping up here. This is a great situation to just take it 4-1. You have to just get this close here, and any extra points makes you feel better. Huge round, an important time to hit a 6 mark.
Yeah, that gives them the subtle advantage there, and by subtle I mean 101 points, so not so subtle at all, as they've kind of taken the advantage in this leg away from Jamie and Carlos.
Well, 101 points is key because a 9 mark is what's needed now to get, or sorry, excuse me, a 7 mark is really what is needed to get ahead, but they can't close the number and get the point lead in the same turn anymore. Now, Jules, if he takes that 16-15, it's all but guaranteed that they're going to win the king seat 4-1.
Ooh, that's a bad dart. He's going to have to move over. That's awkward.
Awkward indeed.
Well,
but he
never
still
mind.
finds it.
It's Jules. I forgot. My bad.
Well, you saw what he did there. He saw the dart was kind of blocking, moved to his angle where it was actually going to benefit him and pushed his dart in, using it as a backboard and really staying focused on a situation where some players might get nervous and switch numbers immediately.
Yeah, he had a tough job. He yawned, and then he hit it.
That's a big thing about marker darts. If you're not familiar with marker darts, you definitely need to learn them because they can be crucial to hitting those big points when you need them.
And for those wondering, marker darts is a technique, not actual expo markers.
That's been my problem.
Mike Carter to try to take it 4-1 in this king seat.
Ricky Bobby, I cannot tell you. I cannot find that information, bud. But Mike Carter and Jules take it down 4-1. Man, Mike's throw might be one of my favorite throws I've seen. It looks so pretty.
It makes butter seem not smooth because of how smooth that is. Great performance there. I mean, you see Jules and Mike showing what the no cap can be, but also let's just talk real quick. Jamie, Carlos, fantastic performance out of them as well. I just think they're going against this very scary team. See Daryl Ritchie there, John Edwards and Austin Braswell.
Which means Brandon Neal is also back there.
Do you know he's from Omaha?
Omaha!
It's like call and response. This is a last chance game. So winner takes all here. John Edwards, 1 dart left in hand, got the close. He's going to expand his point lead, it looks like.
And he does so with a big trip 20.
Austin is someone that's new to the game as well. He's been playing, honestly, about similar amount of time that Jules has been playing, which shows that multiple good shots can grow over a very short period of time. They're both in the same no-cap event for a reason, right?
I noticed he's got a tattoo of a scar on his arm. That's an interesting
See the Simba as well?
tattoo. Yeah, it's got a whole little, maybe like half sleeve going on there.
Yeah.
Speaking of half sleeves, Brandon Neal steps up.
Can we just talk about how Mr. Bathroom Selfie himself is just beautiful? White belt, rocking the backwards hats, looking sharp.
Of course, they match jerseys with each other. So cute.
Just to touch base real quick, too. Was Daryl? I know for a fact Austin drove up here from Florida. And I know a significant amount of other players did, too. I wonder if Daryl as well. But that's a good 20-hour drive, folks.
It is. I mean, it's 17 and a half hours from Central Florida. And then if you stop and get gas, you're not doing it in less than 20 unless you're a Superman of some kinds. And a lot of players did it because a hurricane was not going to stop them from the best soft tip tournament the PPD has to bring.
There you go. Jesse Plessinger is saying, what is up? And did I say hello and happy birthday to Ryan George? Yes, I did. He did not return my phone or my text, though.
Just not important enough.
I'm not important. It's okay. I get it.
Watch Austin here. I mean, again, he's someone that's brand new to the game. And look at how he just learned a nice, simple stroke. Brings it a little further back behind the eye than most players typically would, but other than that, it's a standard pullback three-point release.
Joe says he believes Daryl did drive as well.
David saying, well worth the drive for the CSI. I mean, there's a lot of money in these CSI events, in the finales, in the 50K. I mean, it's really just like a printer's back there or something.
I forgot that Brandon Neal was left-handed. It makes me like him less, or like him more now. Well, not like him as much. That's what I meant to say. I butchered that, and so don't worry about it anymore.
Will, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking this bracket's moving along pretty dang quick, fellas. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, you know what would be really
I'm thinking
cool?
that every time I see Arkansas, I want to say Arkansas.
That's a typical Kansas statement that you just said there.
Is it?
Yep.
Is that what a Kansan
Kansas says that. Say that all the time, my man.
Ah.
And Arkansas hates it.
Most players that pick up the game quickly more than others have the natural high eye-hands capabilities they tap in and use more frequently. They are making it look easy, but practice that ability to go far as well. Nathaniel, you hit it right on the head. A lot of these people, there is a certain level of talent, and there's a lot of practice and dedication. That's the difference maker. Austin got hooked on the sport after NDA pretty recently, and ever since then has put time and time on the hockey. In fact, most days he's at Skybox in Kissimmee, Florida.
Yeah, the way to get better quickly, guys, is to play against top-level talent multiple times a week, because you're going to get tired of losing, and you'll reach a plateau. You'll reach your peak, and it might be where Austin Braswell is in this division, this open division. It might be mine, which is level 5 state champ one year.
Yeah, he's definitely come on quick. He's got some very good players in his area that can help him grow his game. But I think he's still going to experience a couple moments of strategic errors when it comes to the game of cricket, just because you haven't played enough in certain moments of a match to be successful. You have to really grind and try to just possibly get lucky here and there too. I mean, it does take a little bit of time to learn a nice, smooth strategy and how to counteract some people's strategy.
Hey, Steve's tuning in with us. Porky.
Hey!
Where he's tuning in from?
Go ahead, sir.
No, this is all for you. That's why he does this.
Because I can't even read it, because I'm not seeing it.
Accomack County.
It's Wachaprague in Accomack County, Virginia.
Yeah, he's definitely not there. He's chilling at his house in Wisconsin, I guarantee it. Just acting like,
he probably lives in a town called like Townsville, Wisconsin or something.
Well, let's head on over to board number 4.
And just in time to see Johnny K.
They're going to be going to a game 3 there because they did win going first in 0-1. This is a middle bracket match. So we're about to see game 3 in the middle bracket here.
Who do you have in this one, bud? You see what's going on.
I mean, it's hard to pick any favorites. I'm not going to call on anything except for the matches I personally bet on, and that's just because I want to do some minor match fixing in the background here. But otherwise, I'm going to say, there's a couple guys out there, a couple of players that we've seen on the PDC stage. Personally, my big favorite, Leonard Gates. Jules is in the room right behind me.
Who?
Oh. Mike Carter's partner.
Oh. Isaac Robinson getting us a 7 mark to start off. Jules is threatened to cut off the power. So if our stream goes down here soon, it was Jules Van Doggen who did it.
Right now, we're looking in a middle bracket here. So that means that both of these teams have lost once, but have not gotten their second loss yet. So winner moves on in the middle. Loser goes to a last chance.
Well, there is Johnny Lee. Johnny Jenkins.
So we have Isaac and Johnny against Eric and Steve. On the other end, Ken and Rick, Johnny and Kyle. So there's a lot of players left in this middle bracket here.
Eric Lucky was Division I CSC Challenger Series for this season. So he's a pretty good shot, as you see Scuba Steve and Garion talking in the background.
Isaac Robinson, one of the players I met at the Sharks Blind Draw in the 2019 Kansas City TOC.
I met Isaac at the Knox Amusement Invitational that To The Point Streaming did.
Really?
Back in January.
Yeah, when I met him
last year.
I met him at the Sharks Blind Draw, and let me tell you, he is a very funny guy, and apparently an avid bowler. And I'm not even making that up. He is someone that likes getting into bowling a little bit here.
Stop talking to me about bowling. Steve Hennings. That's my first time getting a look at him as well. Johnny Lee has himself a good shot.
Look at how high up his point is pointing when he brings it back to his face. It is almost like a full arc that you're seeing when he throws there. It's like a slingshot almost.
It's a very basketball style of shot. You can tell that's what he kind of bases it off of.
Now basketball is the one with the hoop.
I think he's asking a question instead of telling everyone in the chat. So I don't want you guys to think that he thinks that you're stupid. He just knows himself to be stupid. So that's why he's saying that.
But Isaac is no fool, unlike myself here. Looking at, might take a look at the 17 and barely hits above it there. 9 mark was what he was seeking. 7 mark is what he was found.
And Zeb and Keegan, you're absolutely right. Steve Hennings was also in Division I of the CSC Challenger Series. So you have a couple of Division I CSC Challenger Series players. And then you have Isaac and Johnny.
Look at Johnny, how he sets up his dart for the people in chat. It shows everybody has a different approach, but all these forms are correct in their own right. Nice high arch. Top of the food chain asking if Don Stewart does not play anymore. Fortunately, I know he's not at this TOC. I don't know if he still actively plays a sport or not, though. Imagine he does. He's a quality shot of his own right.
Mm-hmm. You ain't a wolfin'.
Well, wolfin' I am.
Hey, there's my partner in the first blind draw that I met you at back there, Mr. Adam Clayton.
I'm sorry to hear. And then Eric, I'm just kidding. Adam Clayton, another one of the Florida locals, as we get to see the rave dance tripod action.
Yeah, someone just shake that thing violently for us, please. We have not freaked out enough. Can someone just grab it just by the part where it says don't touch and just go and violently shake that thing for us? That would be best. Let us know when you do
I would be
so.
careful. When you shake things like that, you get babies that grow up to be like me.
We're just gonna take the batteries out of Nick's mic now.
Well, Nick's
All
gone.
right.
He's going to go do a couple interviews, or that's what we're going to tell him he needs to do. Dorothy says, good one, Nick. Dorothy, don't give him that.
Dorothy has always been a day one supporter, travel agent, nice dart player as well. One of the Darts Live players back when I was an operator for them back in the day.
Are you making up a backstory for Dorothy?
And she also plays out of Skybox quite a lot. She's a travel agent and has actually helped me book some flights in the past.
Bobby Lee making the trek from New York here. He's a
Isaac, same player. Isaac, same way. Makes that trip from New York, upstate New York, too.
I hear their tournament's going to be January 13th through the 15th up there in Knox.
Yeah, it's usually right MLK weekend.
Mm-hmm.
There's Isaac. He does work for Knox Amusement. But he's like a 5.0 average shooter as well. He just doesn't get to shoot as much because he's working for the amusement company. It's the same thing with us.
I feel you there,
We
buddy.
work with production companies that, work us like dogs.
I've
we don't-
craved. I've even told Carly. I said, Carly, forgo any payments. Just put me in the CSC and we'll be good. And 2 and out for Will.
This is still anybody's game here. This is the last tiebreaker for the middle bracket. Johnny Lee here needs to hit, realistically, a 6 mark on those 15s.
And he can do it. He's not throwing as well as Johnny Lee usually throws. Yeah, you can see he's getting very frustrated at himself.
Well, and that's one of those turns that 9 times out of 10 you would expect him to hit the 7 mark that is expected, or 6 mark in theory. But
Well, here's Eric Ledke.
Eric's going to take his time, get the close first, because that's what matters, and then some extra points on top. There's the
Gets 'em.
cherry.
That was good.
That was.
I'll actually give you real credit for one.
Just one.
Well, sometimes when we're laughing at you, not with you. That time, that was we didn't even laugh. It was that good.
Well, Isaac Robinson's not laughing, neither is Johnny Lee, as they are getting an unfortunate end to the middle bracket and getting sent down to the bottom bracket if Steve Hennings takes this out here.
Yeah, they're still in the tournament, which is an important thing to keep mentioning. You gotta love the triple dip situation. But it ain't over until I start singing. I haven't done that yet.
You've actually done it several times. So Johnny Jenkins here, stepping up. They do have 2 bowls in the back pocket here. 74-point difference, which is a good number for them. You're going to expect 4 bowls and a single 17.
Yeah, that's the winning darts. It's the winning combination. Can Johnny Lee get it done? He cannot.
He's debating right now. What does he want to do?
Not that. Ideally, he did not want to hit a 2.
He had to stay on the bowl regardless. I do
Yeah.
think that closing the 17, while there's a chance that they can 9 mark it, could also add a lot more pressure. And I expect these players to be able to hit hat
Eric's not
tricks
looking
9
at the
times out of 10.
17 the first start, at least. Oh, yeah, he did.
He
Oh,
knows-
my gosh. Leave the 17s open.
Well, now things are starting to get really interesting. 91-point difference, 4 bowls and a single 17. Same shot as before. Two bowls found there. Decides to close the 17, but misses. Isaac Robinson making a clerical error, not taking his time to hit the big single. Steve Hennings, now or never. If you're going to win this game, here's your opportunity.
And he does not do it. You can see the pressure does start to mount. And Johnny with... Honestly, if he would tell you that he's going to hit this at least half the time.
Needs another. Finds
And
it.
a single 17 does it.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Back and forth, back and forth. Someone needs to take this home.
My goodness.
I'm in disbelief. I'm in disbelief right now.
Eric, though, still has a lot of work left to win this match. If I'm him, I stand 17s the whole way through now. And doesn't even extend it out more than 1 bowl.
The pressure is hitting these players right now. It is a tough room to be in, and it's tough.
There's the tie, and there's the 17. What a comeback for Knox Amusement. Upstate New York taking down Steve Hennings and Jamie... sorry. For some reason, I got completely caught up in that. Eric Ludke is what I meant to say.
And they are not out yet. It's a triple elimination tournament.
This dropped down to the last chance bracket. Johnny Lee
Well, and every
and
time...
Isaac stay in this thing.
And I just want to clarify something for some people watching that match. Sometimes you're going to get matches where you see Jules and Carter be on point every single round. And sometimes players are not at the level you expect them to be, whether it be pressure, nerves, or just bad air. You never really know. Does not knock their ability. They deserve to be here just like anybody else, especially because everybody that's still here has won a match in a very, very tough field. So best of luck to the rest of the way for all those players as we are going to get sorted to our next match here. Looks like we have John Edwards, Scuba Steve Diker, Brandon Neal, and who is Scuba Steve playing with? Do we know?
Bob Anderson.
Bob Anderson, thank you.
Yeah, and this is last chance bracket, so race to 1.
Would you ever predict this to be a last chance match with seeing those names?
Nope, not at all. These are 4 very solid shots. Tells you how good of a bracket this is.
We are spoiled. I am excited. John Edwards had one of those matches. Unfortunately, while we didn't get him on the official CSC stream, we did see a couple of his Facebook clips going around to him against Johnny Lackey, throwing, what was it, 32 9 marks against each other.
Yeah.
And they raced the 9 format.
There's a soldier, Leonard Gates, warming up over at the far end. See Jeremiah Millar talking with Brian Henry. And then Rick Hensey sitting down over there, just comfy.
Oh. Again, a nice dramatic zoom in there. The man, the myth, the legend. Those 2 guys standing in front of the guy that beat them in the CSC Challenger Series.
That's true. As here we go. Best dressed guy in darts, Brandon Neal, going to get this one started.
I personally will take offense to that.
Well, dress better, I don't tell you. Jeremiah and Leonard Gates get the winner of this match. Just FYI. In the last chance bracket.
So Brandon, John, Bob, and Steve, this is a 10th place match. So just to know, unlike the CSIs and stuff that we saw prior, only 4th place and on gets paid out here. I mean, this is normal on the floor events. This isn't an invitational. Yep. This isn't a challenge series. This is you need to do or die. And you get the reward of playing Jeremiah and Leonard Gates in the next match, by the way.
Yeah.
And they're in the last chance. Who would have ever saw that?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Isn't that crazy?
Absolutely barnacles.
Yeah, we got people in the chat being like, this is the no cap bracket. Buddy, last chance right now. Jeremiah and Leonard sitting there. Yeah, Ricky Bobby. Aw, sorry, Porky. You're the best sleeper.
Personally, I love, there was a clip of Porky at the Father's Day Frenzy that was done by USA Darts. He just goes right up to the camera right as Will's trying to sign off a broadcast, just takes a big bite of a sandwich, smiles, and walks away.
I love it. Brandon Neal, 6 marks, the 19s. They're up 117-0 on Bob and Scuba. Bob hasn't even thrown a dart yet.
You know, I'm fairly certain of this, but the finale's the last day, right? And we see big money, and it's a blind draw format. You don't know your partner till the night before. And Bob Anderson in 2019 TOC, or maybe it was 2018, one of those years, pulled Brian Dennis. And that was a team, I believe, I want to say they got 2nd or 1st.
There you go.
As a finale team. And that just shows you what's in store for you across this whole week.
Sitting in the king seat spot on the winner's side is Jules Van Dongen and Mike Carter.
As we get a pony up there from John Edwards. Well, nay, my friend, nay. What? You can say boom, but I can't do a horse noise?
Oh, it was great. It was great, except it just seemed very medieval of you.
This is a single game bracket. Steve Diker needs to find another one of those. Gets fighted out.
It kissed it up.
All right. John Mink up to the, Brandon Neal stepping up to the line here.
316s is doing his job. He's going to try and get it the hard way, going all inside on the first 2. Gets his job done.
But that's it. I mean, it's not just about flashy shots.
That's all you got to do.
Bob Anderson, if you guys are not as familiar, Super Darts sponsored player, phenomenal shot, and a class act guy. He's so polite. If you ever have a chance to sit down and have a conversation with him, he will talk darts with you all day unless he's too busy winning in tournaments. Unfortunately, right now on the receiving end of a tough game from John Edwards and Brandon Neal, 3 bulls needed to wrap this one up and to make their next match against Gates and Millar.
Yeah. Yeah, how excited are you to still be in this tournament knowing that Gates and Millar are in the last chance bracket? You can't even avoid them if you want to.
But if you're seeing those guys lose, imagine who's still winning.
I mean, you ain't a wolfing. Isaac and Johnny are the ones who beat Leonard and Jeremiah in the one-loss column. And
John Edwards had a rare bagel last time we saw him up there. At least bagels in relevance to the Bulls. Brandon Neal here to try to wrap it up. You don't want to keep... whenever we see these games drag out on the Bulls, things start to get real interesting.
Well, we saw it in the last match. But Brandon Neal going to make... Uh-oh. He pointed again, but that's not going to help.
The 2 matters a lot, though, because at any point, these players should be capable of slapping 1 bull in there. When you start aiming for 2, when you're overthinking it, that's when things start to mess up.
Well, Bob just needs 4 bulls to regain the point lead. A lot harder to do now.
Steve, you're right, buddy. Chemistry between partners really makes a difference. And that's one of the things with going back to in-person tournaments is people weren't used to playing with anybody except for the exact person in their local area, not worrying about matching up with exact averages to fit in brackets or whatever it may be. It is a huge factor.
Well, there it is. John Edwards, a 5.10, and that includes the bagel on the Bulls in his last time up. They shot lights out to take out the Wisconsinite duo of Scuba Steve and Bob Anderson. So congratulations to Brandon and John. They get the opportunity now to play Jeremiah and Soldier.
And think about this. This is day 1 that we're here. There's still 3 more days of action and plenty more opportunities for players like Scuba Steve and Bob Anderson and others to continue to try to get their stake.
Absolutely. Well, that will be on board 1F. Right now, Ken and Rick, Isaac and Johnny getting ready to get going on board 1A as well. So we got 2 matches, both on streaming boards. We're just waiting for the action to get going, so we might as well hear from our quick word from our ads. So we'll be back right after the short break and right after Will Stewart says something.
Yeah, and just real quick, big shout out to a couple sponsors here. As we do want to mention that for all these players, you can see them here on our tablecloth actually, and possibly if we can get it to zoom in on us, focus up. Mammoth Clothing, Flashpoint, looks like U.S. Sports, Flight Faction, Monster Clothing, Horizon Darts, Magic Wear, and some USA Darts company. I'm not sure.
That's LJ Sports.
Oh, LJ Sports. Okay, I thought it was U.S. Sports. Couldn't really see that, I guess, but that's quite all right. Big shout out to those guys.
Well, it's the partners promoting darts for a reason. It's not just the players; it's also the partners. Guys, we'll be back in just a moment here.
It's Brand Month, and we're featuring Target darts all October long, starting with our Dart of the Month, which is going to be the HEMA darts range. Purchase any Target HEMA barrel, and you're going to receive a free gift consisting of select assortment of 3 Target flights. We're also offering select Target accessories for a discounted price, including our huge variety of Swiss points, as well as an assortment of shafts that are all red in color. So we've got the Pro Grip Evo shafts, the standard Pro Grip shafts, and also the Pro Grip Ink. So the idea is you can complement your new HEMA barrels and have everything match. We also are offering the black pixel tips, and finally select Tacoma cases. For example, the red ink case, one of my favorites. So match up with your HEMAs. And finally, A to Z Darts is offering a Think Pink promotion. So you can select printed L-Style flights. If you buy 2 sets, you're going to receive a free L-Style goodie bag consisting of flights, Laro shafts, and tips. So that's like a $18 value. So it's a pretty sweet free gift for what you're putting in for the sale. Think Pink, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the month of October. Have a great Halloween. Love you. Bye.
5 total options in the HEMA range, 3 steel tip labeled 01 through 03, and 2 soft tip variants labeled 10 and 11, with multiple barrel weights for each option. Now, common themes that they all share are bold red and black accents along a silver barrel. They all have striking radial grooves in certain sections that are offset by small axial cuts. And all steel tip barrel versions are fitted with smooth silver Swiss points. You can purchase these barrels on our website, a2zdarts.com. Just look for the link in the description, and I hope you enjoyed this review as well as the rest of the 2021 launch. We've reviewed it all, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on future range reviews, as well as our review of the new Target dartboard. Thanks for watching.
Well, guess who's back? Back again. Someone kicking that board. But we are back here, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Green, the play-by-play commentator, joined by young Dichiria, Nick Dichiria, with his colorful hair and everything, and the GOAT, Will Stuart, USA Darts Production, live in Kansas City, Missouri for TOC 2022. This is our open division of doubles. You're seeing the team of Leonard Gates and Jeremiah Millar, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, they must be playing for the king seat right now, right?
Well,
no,
that's what I assumed. No?
This is the last chance bracket. So no matter what, they're going to have to triple dip Jules if they plan on winning this whole tournament.
So what you're saying is, if one of these teams loses, they're done. That's it.
Out.
They don't get to play no more.
One of these teams will be done for the evening.
Well, someone's trying to put baby in a corner. Let's see who that is. Leonard Gates to start off here.
Soldier only a 3 mark. He's not going to be happy.
Very frustrated with that, as he has high expectations for himself, and understandably so, as he is one of the strongest shots in the room. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah, there is better ways to put it. He is arguably the best shot in the room. Up there with Jules Van Doggen and Jeremiah. And Rick Hensey. Jeremiah, only a 4 mark. And guys, we're going to say crazy stuff like only a 4 mark, only a 5 mark from this point forward. You need to be throwing at least 5s. Dustin Holt says, well, thanks, guys. This inspired me to go play a blind draw tonight. Actually, a blind draw tonight. Time to go embarrass myself locally. Dustin Holt, you will probably not embarrass yourself locally. I know your skill level. You're pretty decent at darts.
Well, embarrassing yourself doesn't have to pertain just to darts.
Oh, that's true. Pops from New Jersey checking in. That's the real Philly legend.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, Tim's dad.
Gates? Little out of form right now. A 3 mark, then a 4 mark here. So we're having a little hiccup on our camera feed here. So guys, hold tight for one quick moment as we're going to get this sorted out real quick for you.
You're seeing some trip 19s. Well, boom goes the dynamite for John Edwards. He threw all those from way behind the line. You can see that there in the picture. As we're going to run, Will stepped out for a brief second. That's right, it's still on this. Hilariously enough. So we're getting him back in this room. You step out for 1 second and the camera freezes. What can you say?
Let's go to F1.
As we're going to head over to F1 here real quick, potentially. As we're getting the other board figured out for you.
And back in the saddle for me as well here.
Hey,
one of the
Will,
things that
on
goes
board.
One of the things that goes on with the production here. No worries, we're going to get that fixed up. There's a lot that goes into the production here. I mean, Will was here long hours getting everything set up. And so were we, interviewing players, interviewing everybody that we could talk to. There's so much going on. A lot of handshaking, too.
Justin said, unplug it and plug it back in. That's typically our only move.
Justin McCurry, he's actually the best 1-5 shooter out of Florida.
Wow. Well, listen, how about this? Their darts are disappearing on their way to the board and still registering. It's impressive.
You know, Halloween's right around the corner, and I'm thinking we're seeing some phantom darts here.
Some phantom
ghosts in the air.
darts. Elvis says, someone come scoop me up for the draw. Look at this from Ken Rip. Well, you can't really look at it except for his face. At 362, Johnny and Isaac sitting on 312 have 15s that they can close and point. As Will comes yogging back.
Board 1 should kick on here in a minute. Board 2 should. Board 2, over 1.
Hey, look at this. Those disappearing darts have gone away, guys. And Rick Hinsey made darts look easy right there. The one thing that he does very well, Johnny Lee says something to him as he walks back. Like, really?
And guys, we really do appreciate your patience with us here as we are putting in the effort. And unfortunately, sometimes errors happen. I know Will right now doing everything in his power to get us sorted back up on the match we were watching.
Do you want to get back?
We've seen it time and time again, but we're about to switch back over to our match we had.
Yeah, we're going to watch Ken hit this leg-winning dart here real quick, and then we will switch back over. It will be 1-0, Ken and Rick right now. So now we're going to head back over to that best of 1.
Yeah,
and look at this. You're seeing Jeremiah and Soldier behind in the leg.
Yeah, I do apologize for that little hiccup there, folks, but looks like we're back up, going.
Well, apology not accepted as Brandon Neal steps up to the line here. I'm just kidding. Obviously,
It's definitely not accepted. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
No apologies needed. Will, there's a reason we joke around and call you the legend, the GOAT. It's not just a joke. It is the truth. You put a lot of time and effort into this, and pat yourself on the back, bud, because you are doing some amazing stuff in darts production.
Brandon only gets himself a 4 mark.
Right now.
This is about the spot where Leonard Gates hits a 9.
He has to, but we saw him open up with a 3 mark and then a 4 mark. And of course, he proves me right with only a 7. I just had to prove Sean wrong.
Boy. You all were, I wasn't even watching the screen. I knew it was going to be a 9, and it was only a 7.
John Edwards here finds the 19s. He's going to go for those 16s now.
There they
Gets
go.
it there. He can opt to take the 15s if he wants it. He gets more points. 8 mark for John Edwards.
Stuart saying switchboard sounds. Even that's off. Josh, we'll get that, buddy. Sorry, guys.
1080 Live, thank you for your love and support.
Jeff McMahon. Going to be with me with the CDC of the Continental Cup.
Oh.
Great.
You're
great
kind of a big
motion
deal
graphics.
nowadays, aren't you?
Well, not as big of a deal as you are.
Well,
But I'm
if we're
working
talking
on it.
in mass, you're right. I do got you beat there.
Yeah, guys, we appreciate your comments here. We'll keep stepping out for
We're just
reasons
having a
unbeknownst to us.
You know what's crazy?
Our
is
one production guy keeps leaving.
we felt like the CSI went perfect this morning. It's bound to happen when you're on this side of the camera. Unfortunately, some issues arise, but I promise you we are doing everything we can to fix it. This is going to be a single game right here. Winner moves on. Loser is out. This is an 8th place match, Sean. Can you believe that?
Yeah, this is last chance bracket. You see Leonard Gates and Jeremiah Millar are a team. As Soldier is going to 9 mark now, the 15s. Wow. Gets the point lead back.
Winner of this match looks like they get to play Johnny Lackey and Kyle Liddicky next.
The board sound is on the other board still. Will says, thank you so much for your feedback there in the chat.
That's not what I said, but...
He said he could not have done it without you guys and your support. As a 7 mark there for John Edwards. Keeping them at arm's length away.
If this was a lesser caliber match, people would say that's too many points. And this level, that is to be expected.
Yeah.
That big gap, that dominating pressure. Now, if Millar does anything less than perfection, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, and he does the full snatch dart on dart 2. And dart 3.
So Millar with the frustration there. There's one note I do want to have people take with Jeremiah the Beast Millar, is that he is a competitor. He is a top echelon player that hasn't had the opportunity to play much lately. He has had some personal stuff going on with his house and his home and everything else, and unfortunately does not play as much as he wants, because he has that ability. He has the upper gear. We've seen him do some amazing stuff on stream in the past, and I'm certain that he will do some amazing stuff this weekend. But right now, Brandon Neal and John Edwards trying to deny them this event.
Well, we'll see if Soldier can get himself another 9.
1080 Live saying
Almost
never
does.
apologize, by the way. You get to see a nice, crisp picture. David saying thank you, Will, for all you do, and we're going to have to agree.
Well, there go the 15s on a double 15. And John's going to trip the 19s twice in a row. Big darts. Almost slams the door right in the face of Leonard Gates and Jeremiah Millar, who might be out of this tournament in just a minute.
Sean, I don't know if you remember at the beginning of the CSC, I actually had John Edwards as one of my favorites in that CSC. Well, he's proven why I kind of had him as a favorite in this one.
I don't remember that at all. I'm kidding.
It's the old brain ears.
Well, here is Brandon Neal, bathroom selfie extraordinaire, wearing his white belt. And he is not going to karate chop his way to a victory yet. But he does plant another trip 19 on the board.
Getting just shy of that 200-point limit, and all but guaranteeing perfection here. Leonard Gates just a little out of sorts. I think a lot of travel, a lot of darts. He has plenty of titles. And I mean, we saw him at the Phoenix Cup in Vegas doing some amazing stuff. While we were not producing that event, we saw the feed and saw he did some great stuff out there.
Well, John Edwards trying to do some great stuff right here for everyone in the room watching. Not yet. And Jeremiah steps up and kind of shakes his head. It's hard to really throw these darts with very much of a vigor. But he's going to anyway. Just a boring 5 mark, the Bulls. Jeez. I wish I could just like nonchalantly do that, you know? Well, Brandon Neal trying to end this thing.
One bull needed. Will he get it right here?
He does. And guys, Leonard Gates and Jeremiah Millar are out of this tournament. Had to have been the favorites coming in.
And I just lost my bet for $100 guaranteeing top 4. Well, now let's go back. We're here. Isaac Robinson, Johnny Jenkins, and Ken Rick Hensey here. We saw a little bit of that first leg, and now we're seeing they're in the third leg of this best of 3. And they're in the middle bracket here. This is getting intense because right now they're doing everything they can. Carlos and Jamie waiting on the end of that middle bracket here. If you win this match, and what's important here that you have to remember, if you win this match, you're guaranteed at least 4th. And that's important because that's the first position that pays in this bracket.
Can we pay attention to this for 1 second, buddy? They're in round 5. And Isaac and Johnny are 1 bowl away from winning this leg with 140 points.
Blinking, you miss it, huh?
They're throwing ridiculous darts right this second. That is for sure. There is no other way to put it.
Johnny Jenkins, 1 bull to take this match. Guaranteed top 4 as they're going to go against Carlos and Jamie in the next rounds. All but guaranteed.
There it is. Double bowl to boot. Yeah, 429 for Johnny Jenkins. I am very curious to see what Isaac did in that leg because it had to be ridiculous. Well,
There are 6 teams left in this bracket right now, and we're going to see how these last few places start to finish up for the no cap here at the Tournament of Champions in Kansas City, Missouri, brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts here. So we're going to take a brief look around the hall, seeing all these players happy to be in the room, but also starting to thin up from some of these no-cap players, as this is, again, down to, the last 5 teams.
Yeah, it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. You got Brandon Neal and John about to take on Johnny Lackey and Kyle, who are in the last chance bracket as well.
Jules and Mike Carter being in the king seat, waiting in the finals. Sure, someone could have predicted that. But everybody else going on here,
yes.
You can't predict some of these teams that are already getting knocked out.
So there you go. You just saw Isaac and Johnny, who will now be playing Carlos and Jamie on board 1F. Oops, sorry. There you go. And then if you look down... We're going down, 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 burning ring of fire. You can see Brandon and John right there taking on, that's Brandon Neal and John Edwards, taking on Kyle Liddicky and Johnny Lackey on board 1B. So a couple of great matches. The winner of that one gets the pleasure of playing Rick Hinsey and Ken Rip. And as you look to see Jules and Mike are sitting in the king spot. There are no easy matches left. That is saying
Was there any to begin with? I mean, look at these names. Kevin Moore nails it right on the head. Weird to seeing Hensey, Millard, and Gates all lose. Imagine that.
Yeah.
In quick subsequent fashion as well. These players are getting their matches set up here. We have 2 active matches that are going to be going on, as we mentioned, with 2 teams waiting for the results of those matches. So we're down to the very nitty-gritty here.
Guys, we can't tell you how much we appreciate all of your support. Brett Shin saying still great commentating. I think that's for you. Great job there. It's an honor to be here at TOC 2022 live in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm Sean Green, Nick Dichiria to my right, to my left, the GOAT, Will Stewart. We'll be right back after this quick ad break. Don't go anywhere. Hit that share button.
Month, and we're featuring Target Darts all October long, starting with our Dart of the Month, which is going to be the HEMA Darts range. Purchase any Target HEMA barrel, and you're going to receive a free gift consisting of a select assortment of 3 Target flights. We're also offering select Target accessories for a discounted price, including our huge variety of Swiss points, as well as an assortment of shafts that are all red in color. So we've got the Pro Grip Evo shafts, the standard Pro Grip shafts, and also the Pro Grip Ink. So the idea is you can complement your new HEMA barrels and have everything match. We also are offering the black pixel tips, and finally select Tacoma cases. For example, the red ink case, one of my favorites. So match up with your HEMAs. And finally, A to Z Darts is offering a Think Pink promotion. So you can select printed L-Style flights. If you buy 2 sets, you're going to receive a free L-Style goodie bag consisting of flights, Laro shafts, and tips. So that's like a $18 value. So it's a pretty sweet free gift for what you're putting in for the sale. Think Pink, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the month of October. Have a great Halloween. Love you. Bye. Now there are 5 total options in the HEMA range, 3 steel tip labeled 01 through 03, and 2 soft tip variants labeled 10 and 11, with multiple barrel weights for each option. Now common themes that they all share are bold red and black accents along a silver barrel. They all have striking radial grooves in certain sections that are offset by small axial cuts. And all steel tip barrel versions are fitted with smooth silver Swiss points. You can purchase these barrels on our website, a2zdarts.com. Just look for the link in the description. And I hope you enjoyed this review as well as the rest of the 2021 launch. We've reviewed it all, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on future range reviews, as well as our review of the new Target dartboard. Thanks for watching.
Feels.
All right, welcome back to Kansas City, Missouri, TOC 2022, brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts. I'm Sean Green, your play-by-play commentator, joined in the booth. To my right is the wonderfully colorful Nick Dichiria. To my left, the GOAT, Will Stuart of USA Darts Productions. And my voice is gone. That's why that sounded like that, or else it would have sounded way more like a goat.
Sean, I want to ask you something. If Will is in head of production,
Yep.
and you are the play-by-play commentator, that makes me the color commentator. Do you think I took it too literally with my hair color?
Absolutely not. In fact, the fact that you dove into that pool head first makes me respect you a little bit more. Or less, one of the two. Hey, guys, B-Level Jesus, Mike Pimpleton is in our chat. Do you know anything about B-Level Jesus?
Never heard of this.
Just a little bit. Just
Yeah?
what you told me. That's about it.
Love me some B-Level Jesus.
Looks like we're possibly dealing up here. Oops, wrong button. Wrong
This is
button
why
again.
we can't even touch the stuff. But who knows if we have the right camera, the right board up.
I assure you, Will is going to get everything set up straight as they are setting up the board right now. Kyle Liddicky, gotta have a nice chat with him, and also Johnny Lackey
He met us
as
for
well.
dinner last night, although it wasn't really eat dinner with us. He sat next to you.
No, he sat next to Will.
Oh, that's it.
He sat next to Will, and also
Which one of you is Nick?
to be fair, if you're Kyle and you see not only me sitting there, but then my dad causing a scene in the restaurant, I don't know if you would say much either.
Yeah, he did leave rather quickly after your dad showed up.
No correlation, I'm sure.
Absolutely not.
John Edwards, one game decider here, needs to start off right.
Let's get it started.
You all ready for this?
In order to get to this match, let's call this how it is. John Edwards and Brandon Neal just had to take down Leonard Gates and Jeremiah Millar, who found themselves getting 7th place tonight.
So Kyle Liddicky has been in the program for TOC since if we're not mistaken here, because him and I were trying to pinpoint the exact date. Somewhere around 2013 is when he joined the TOC PPD circuits.
You were like 5.
And a half?
Yeah.
He is a 2018 CSI winner, a finale runner-up as well, and one of the biggest supporters that the PPD has seen. Brandon Neal, the fashionista of the dartboard.
It's Fashionista. He's a male.
Well, of course, someone has to disagree with me, which would be Dr. Handsome here.
Look at Dr. Handsome. Looking as handsome as ever.
It's not that he's just Dr. Handsome. He calls his son Little Handsome or Handsome Jr. and a couple other variations, and I just really appreciate the consistency.
And he calls his wife, Trisha, boss, as he should. Smart husband.
Mm-hmm. And a very loyal and loving husband at that. What was the joke there? There was no joke there.
Yeah, I know, but it was a reference back to an earlier thing that we did.
And that's what we call callback.
Kyle Liddicky, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who have no idea how to pronounce his last name, let me just
look at his pointer finger. Look how he pushes that dart down almost before he throws.
That's interesting. He does not grip with that finger, which is very atypical.
Until we had a camera angle like this, I really wasn't able to see something like that before. A lot of players will put just enough weight on there to make sure the dart doesn't move. It's a stabilizer, but to see someone actually push on it is a very unique tick.
It is, but it obviously works for him. Brandon Neal finding that last dart. As here is Houston's Johnny Lackey.
You can see almost a little fatigue. It is a PM event, and all these
Only
players have
a
been playing
1 mark.
since the morning. And you know that whatever level they were playing, whether it be the no cap or anything else, these players are starting to get a little bit of fatigue here, knowing that they have to not only win 3 individual games of cricket, which are considered full matches in the last chance, but then any of these teams will have to double, then triple dip to get first place in this event.
Not only that, Nick, but they've been playing. I mean, they played triples this morning, correct?
Yeah, it's a long day of darts.
Yeah,
They're
long-
all playing triples out there on the floor.
Long day of darts indeed. Of course, we know how tournament play is, but you got that extra day added on here. So a 4-day. And actually, you can consider it a day and a half, because normally you come in on a Friday evening and start your event.
Yeah, this is Saturday all day. They're going to play all day tomorrow, all day Monday, and Tuesday.
Woo!
Woo! Indeed. Let's
And
get
in the
Ric
morning,
Flairs.
I'm making waffles.
Are
We
you
weren't
really?
going to go there, but
Well, appreciate that.
Brandon Neal, someone we've seen before, takes his time at the board, especially for that first dart. He will take advantage of his full 30 seconds there, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Not only is it an effective tactic to keep yourself focused, but it also can unintentionally even ice the kicker on the other team.
Angie Edwards in the chat saying, let's go, bro. When I guess bro is stepping up to the line currently, that'd be John.
I would say you're right. 50% of the time, it's every time.
That's because the other 50% of the time, it's your statement.
That is fair. John Edwards needs to dig out of the hole here, and while we saw him super dominant earlier, not as commanding as he was in the last few legs.
How many times have you seen this happen in tournaments and formats, all that? You have a really big match against two top-level players, you beat them, and then immediately get rewarded by getting taken out the very next round.
It happens. It's almost like the adrenaline leading up. You know you're playing against someone scary. All of a sudden, you win it. That sigh of relief, you lose the tension in your shoulders, and all of a sudden, you're a little too relaxed until you start getting scared.
There's no such thing as being too relaxed. Ask Alex Bellman.
Well, not everybody is Alex Feldman, and every player has a different approach to the mentality. Some prefer to be on edge. Some prefer the intensity of the pressure. Some prefer to be relaxed, like a laughing assassin type almost. You see a little bit of every approach from every player. There's no correct way to have your mentality. That being said, right now, everyone here needs to be focused. They're halfway through this game, and this is a last chance game.
Yeah, there you go. Angie saying he had a long day. This talking about John. He lost first round in no-cap trips, then came back to take first with his amazing partners, which does include Jules Van Dongen.
And I believe Jordan Meyer as well.
Yep. And look at this from John Edwards. How about 3 in the bed on the 18s? Boom goes the dynamite, John Edwards.
Beautiful round there. Chris Green, no relation to Sean, says, do they still have a 20-round rule? That is correct. It is 20 rounds of cricket. After that, if it hits round 20, it's the team with the most points. And it's great that you pointed that out, because this is those styles of games that will go all 20 rounds, or at least get very close to it.
It can. They're halfway there.
Now, these players are on a caliber where they should be paying attention to that, but it sneaks up on everybody. At least one of them will get caught off guard by it.
Yeah, typically the last person to find out that you're about to round out loses.
Brandon hesitates there, deciding, does he want to use that 2-point advantage to close the 19?
No.
You do not. But does he feel comfortable with that angle he has on the 18? And
Yeah,
that's
it just
the
depends
thing
on
we can't tell.
if it's blocked or not. It does not look like it. He's looking up at it. It was definitely blocked as he hits a triple 13. If you're going to miss by 2, but not missed by 2 that way.
fellas, just wanted to chime in. It looks like Kenny Doyle will be in attendance for tomorrow's men's
Yay!
CSI event, along with a couple other Floridians.
Sunshine
News
Santa
like that
and
makes me
company?
feel like Santa's coming to town.
Is he checking his list and checking it twice?
Yep, he sure is. Unfortunately, the only player I believe that is not going to be participating would be Ian Hansen, who actually is going to be electing to stay in Florida, as I know he's got some fairly
His area
big
was hit
damage.
pretty
Yeah.
hard.
His area was hit very hard down there in Florida. So
Well, we are hoping for the best out of him.
Yeah.
I don't want to make light of the situation that the hurricane was named after him.
yep, and that's your Super Darts.
Super Dart sponsored Hurricane.
Yeah. So I don't know about that, but he is.
Well, how about a 7 mark there from Kyle Liddicky?
Good shot. It looks like we're going for a round out, boys. 644, 741.
Yeah, I mean, because there's no way Brandon's moving off 18s.
We're already in round 12 here.
And
And
he's not
he's
going to
gotta
get a look
stay.
anywhere else.
Does not get the point lead. This might be a chance where Johnny might.
Johnny can't look at those 18s unless he's tired of this point battle. He needs to stay till he hits a trip on the 19. After that, you can do whatever you want.
Guys gotta stay.
Oh, I don't like the look of those starts,
Uh-oh.
though, and he overcompensated. He overcompensated for it. He knows it, too. You saw his partner even give
First
sorry,
start was
the
a
opponents
blocker.
give a look because they knew he wasn't happy with the lay.
Yep. First star was a blocker. He should have moved up, I think. Or moved over to the 17s.
At that point, you might have to take a risk. But John
now
Edwards,
the point lead. And now he's going to close the 19s.
He's capitalizing. Big single here.
Big darts there from John Edwards as they now take control of the leg.
But a 7 mark the other direction makes the turntables keep spinning.
Or turning?
Well, you know, doesn't find the trouble. He's stuck there now.
Oh, and
deflection.
Flights it over. Advantage huge now for Brandon and John.
Taking his time. Brandon Neal's going to use that clock. He's going to confirm with his partner. Not because he doesn't know what the right thing to do is, but because he's that type of partner that will always communicate, always work through, and make sure he's on the same wavelength as his partner.
Yep.
Except for the hats facing the wrong directions for them. Otherwise, they are in sync.
Well, they're trying to say bye, bye, bye to Johnny Lackey.
Yep, he got blocked. He needs to play safe here. Staying down is such a huge risk. If you don't close that number, those singles marks that you're getting on it don't matter. They're not worth anything.
I'm so interested to see what he's going to do here.
He needs the point. You need to go back up to 18. If you don't do it, you're going to regret it. And even if you trip at 17, it doesn't give you as much advantage as the trip 18 will in this very scenario.
Well, he trusted you. Only gets a 2 mark out of it, but you agree that was the right shot, right?
I think you have to. The risk of a single 17 does nothing. A single 18 does add another mark in their favor. Johnny isn't able to make it hurt. That single 18 gave them the point lead going into this turn now.
Sure did.
They can have those 2 17s to close, and after that, point on the 18s. Although, on the other hand, they have 7 7 7 on the other side. Lucky numbers abound.
Hey, let me just give you a little piece of advice. Don't ever get a brother-in-law. Just don't ever get one.
Do I get an option?
Overrated. Overrated.
Well, Sean's brother-in-law must be in the chat.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
Well, to get a brother-in-law, I have to convince someone to marry me, so the odds are low.
You know, I might have to
Marry him?
Double dip on that situation because let's just say my one's not very good either.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, Hannah.
Justin McCurry says, high stakes playing at this level. If you blank, a sponsor patch must come off your shirt.
Wow. And that's, again, that 1-5 shot from Central Florida.
No pressure. What about us? I have 3 sponsor patches on my jersey, and none of them are about my playing ability. That is for sure.
Well, you can earn the patch for good looks too, Sean. At least that's what they told me. Justin actually was one of the players I saw briefly before coming out here. Did a quick moment, talk the game with him, and hang out. As he's someone that is a partner I play with quite a few times. Michael Walter saying, I'll be your brother-in-law for 300 stars a month.
Well, you're stuck with me as a brother-in-law anyway, but if you're going to pay me for it too, you might as well. I do deserve that 300 stars.
Look at the rounds here. Round 17. After Kyle's turn, it'll be round 18. We're nearing the end of this game, and it's still not certain if it's going to be over.
Yeah, this is tight.
So this is round 17. Kyle here needs to get a playground.
He actually had a chance. 9 mark there would have given them the lead and control. Only a 4. So biggest round of this match right here. Brandon Neal, do you go for the close here?
Well, there's 3 shots off for each team, and if I know that there's a chance that this game can round out, I'm going to get 100-plus points ahead every single time. Because at the end of the day, there could come back on bulls, something could come back and bite you. If you're looking down, you're taking too big of a risk.
That one, and you just saw it there. This is
600.
Johnny Lackey's been waiting in the weeds here in this leg. He has not shown the Johnny Lackey that we've seen recently. It might show up right here.
643 people are anticipating what might happen, as we don't know, they don't know. This is intense darts. Thank you all so much for your love, support, and everyone in the chat right now watching this high-octane deciding leg here. One of these teams is going home after this.
Jason Rudolph asking, what does cricket 200 mean on the scoreboard? That means one team cannot be over 200 points ahead.
Yes.
That's what that
That
means.
was John Edwards' last shot. His partner will get one more. Kyle Liddicky, this will be his last shot. Last round. The next round is the last round, and they need a miracle.
There go the 18s. I like that move.
You have to. You have to, knowing that next round's last round regardless. You have to make sure that they can't guarantee a mathematical victory.
Yep.
Which now, if Brandon Neal doesn't hit 3 bulls, that leaves the chance all up to Johnny Lackey.
Yeah, no pressure. Oh, what a great first start.
Has to follow it, though.
Oh, that
Needs
flight
it right
out.
here.
There it is. White belt gets it done. You said it was going to round out. You liar.
Well, it was 1 shot away. Johnny Lackey only needed 4 pulls there. It could have gone the other way just as easily if the wind was blowing a different direction. Congratulations to John Edwards, Brandon Neal for staving off a very impressive Kyle Liddicky and Johnny Lackey.
I think we're going to see the rest of our matches here on this board, actually. We'll see.
Well, there you
Quite
go.
possibly.
As
It'll be this one or 1F. And it looks like Rip is warming up on 1F.
well, let's look over.
So Matt asked what happens when a game rounds out. It is the team with the most points at the end of round 20 in a 20-round cricket game.
All right,
There
let's-
you go. You can see what is remaining left of the last chance and the one-loss bracket. Brandon Neal, John Edwards are now about to take on Ken Rip and Rick Hinsey for 5th place. 4th place sitting there is Carlos and Jamie. 3rd place sitting there is the New York team of Isaac and Johnny Lee. And Jules
And Mike Carter.
and Mike Carter. And there goes my hand.
Well, right now we're watching the no-cap bracket
Hi.
from Kansas City, Missouri. This is the Tournament Champions 2022. Right now I'm joined by Will Stewart, Sean Green, and of course I am Nickalicious Nick DeShera, according to Shiloh Evans.
Wow.
We are really curious how this bracket is going to end up going, because we're down 5th place match right now. Brandon and John going against Ken and Rick, as they're going to get set up here shortly. Then after that, the winner plays Carlos and Jamie, winner plays Isaac and Johnny, and then Jules and Mike Carter in the finals. The story writes itself here as there is drama on the board and darts going in the air. All right, so right now, while we're waiting this match to get set up, I want to show you a little treat I got to do, which is a chat with Jules Van Doggen himself on his thoughts before the tournament got started. We're going to get right back to the action shortly. Don't go anywhere, folks. I'm Nick DeShera, joined by Sean Green and Will Stewart. See you all soon. Hi, my name is Nick DeShera with USA Darts, and today I'm joined by Jules Van Doggen here at TOC 2022. Jules, how was your drive in? I know you had to go a long way to get here.
Yeah, it was fairly short. It's nice for once to not have to fly somewhere and just take a 10-minute drive and be here, so that's really nice.
Well, you're a world traveler at this point. I mean, between flying around for all the PDC events and everything else you do, does that ever get like exhausting? Is that one of the harder parts of the job?
Yeah, in the beginning I thought it was all cool flying all over, but it gets old pretty quick. The time differences, you know, all that stuff. And I'm also not really a fan of England, all the rain. So yeah, I'm glad to be back here, and it's nice and sunny outside, so I'm going to have a good week, hopefully.
Well, a good week for you means a lot of great darts. I mean, the expectations are high, as you're one of the best dart players in North America, if not the best dart player in North America. Do you ever feel like that adds a lot of pressure on your shoulders with those expectations that are given to you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you set the bar high for yourself, so whenever you don't win or you don't, you know, take second or third, then you're disappointed. But the way I look at it is I'm not a soft tipper myself. I don't really practice it a whole lot. So anything I take in the soft tip world is a bonus for me. But obviously being here, is you want to win. You want to go for first, obviously.
Well, now looking at other dart players' careers at your level, most of them are across 15, 30 years. Your career is a little bit shorter as far as you're newer to the game. Do you think that's going to be an impactful factor as far as like when it comes to soft tip strategy and cricket strategy?
Yeah, I think especially when I just started playing soft tip about 2 years ago, I learned the hard way. Play very aggressive, closing numbers, and I'm learning. I'm pointing a little bit more. Yeah, and like I said, I learned that the hard way playing guys like Gates and Millar and you know, any of the good ones. If you don't have that 3 dart advantage, then you know, they can close it real easy with a 9 mark and you get in trouble. So yeah, you'll see me point a little bit more this week.
Well, with the CSI, there is 30 participants that are of top-notch in average ability and prowess. What do they have to do to beat you on the board?
Yeah, I'm not gonna give that away. Obviously, just throw well. I think the key, especially in cricket, is that first turn. You know, like the first 3 darts, you have to be a 7 mark minimum. If you hit a 5 mark, then they can come behind you and close you out already. So the first 3 darts are really important to me in cricket. So.
Well, many people that are going to be watching the TOC stream across the next couple days here might be watching for the first time darts, might even decide to pick up darts for the first time. For someone that's brand new to darts, what advice would you give them to get started off?
I think especially for if you're a beginner is have fun, learn, but yeah, mostly have fun. Don't set expectations. Don't look to the better players and think that's where I need to be in the next 6 months. Baby steps, be patient, and eventually, if you have the talent and the right technique, it'll come. It'll happen.
29, sorry.
Well, 5 years from now, your career keeps going in darts. Where are you going to be in that career? What's 5 years from now for Jules look like?
Finish this question.
Hopefully establish in the PDC, and hopefully it'll come to a point where I have to move to Europe, and because I'm out there all the time. That's the goal eventually. But yeah, I'm looking at myself and having a 5-year plan actually, and just trying to get experience right now and get better and you know.
Well, we are back in action here live at TOC 2022. Apologize for the cutting of the interview that the young Dirachi, Mr. Nick Dichiria, did. I am joined on my right-hand side is that world-famous interviewer, Nick Dichiria, as John Edwards trying to keep the run of the day going. Won in the double dip in the no cap earlier today with Jules.
Well, yeah, we'll be seeing last bracket deciders here for the last next couple matches, correct?
Yeah, so right now, where we are in our brackets, we're seeing a 5th place match. After that 4th place match, both of those are going to be 1 leg only. Then when we get to 3rd place, it's going to be a little bit of a reset. Best of 3. If the losing side team doesn't prevail, it'll go to a last chance game there as well.
Yeah, I haven't been really throwing a scoreboard up just because those 1 leg deciders. What's the point in typing that all in just to get 2 done?
Well, you did analyze the data there. One thing I want to mention, Jim Turrentine, owner and operator of the Partners Promoting Darts. One of the biggest reasons he likes this triple elimination format is because teams that get knocked down to that last chance bracket aren't out of it. They still have more darts to show. And John Edwards, Brandon Neal are showing exactly why you can never count any team out, and that gives everybody a real good chance to make a deep run.
Yeah, we asked Jim about that triple elimination bracket and why it was kind of significant and why he liked that. And he said there was a time where I would go back into the brackets and check those out and find every single triple dip winner. And those days, you just kind of felt like that guy earned it. That guy or gal earned it. And that's why he's always stuck with it. So nice for the PPD to do that. A little bit of a different little elimination setup.
Well, and I really want to get a better chat with Jim Turntine, hopefully on the interview side of things, because the man has wisdom, he has stories, something I've never got a chance to really talk to him too much about, because every time I saw him in the past, I was a player, and I was just trying not to get kicked out. I had to be on my best behavior. And now working with him, I can see the man really is has a vision for darts and how he wants it to go, and he is passionate and backs up what he says by doing. Ken Rip backing up what he says by hitting some good darts there. 6 marks to get the point lead.
Yeah, 6 mark there from Ken Rip. John Edwards, 3 points down. Got to still be feeling pretty good about the leg. John and Brandon have kind of been the giant killers so far in this tournament. And I would call Rick and Ken a giant killer type, or a giant type of a team.
Just a shameless plug here. How about Dead Man Darts for Rick Hinsey and Ken Rip? That's a little company they just started. So Rick and Ken have been big supporters of us at USA Darts. So I just wanted to kind of mention that one.
He's got a patch on his hat there.
Rick Hinsey, someone we started following in the last just about a year, just under a year, is really when he popped up on a lot of our radars. And I would wager to say, you look at him 2, 3, 4 years from now, he may very well be not only one of the best, but the best player in the room. His growth, his passion, and his dedication towards the game is incredulous.
His overall growth in the past 2 years with COVID has just been unbelievable. He's been doing a lot of at-home grand board sessions, even streaming those to kind of add a little bit of pressure. Really helps his game.
Big close there for Ken Rip. I don't know how much his partner really liked the move there. You can see him laughing in the background now that it's been done. It's a brilliant move when you hit it. John Edwards is from one of the most interesting named towns, Correctionville, Iowa.
Oh, really? I thought it was from Sioux Falls is what he said, but
Well, it says,
maybe I'm wrong.
It said that on his Facebook.
I
We'll
will
see.
say this as well. All 4 of these individuals are top-notch.
Oh,
when it comes to
absolutely.
just personality, approachable. Ask them a question about the game, they're going to give you honest feedback.
Why does Rick make the game look so easy? Like in a gross way, too.
Yeah,
like
it is.
his arm just nonchalant does everything perfectly that it should do. Lefty should not make anything look that easy. Speaking of lefties, here's Brandon Neal.
One
He goes,
hole
"Really?"
out.
Hey, there's the triple.
Ken Rip, opportunity to put a stop in this Brandon and John run here. Gets the 16s, 15s.
I love that transfer.
Looking at the bull.
Gets the single bull as well.
Only a small crack left in that door before it gets shut. John Edwards holding onto the handle. Can he pull it back open?
He cannot. Falls into a number that he needs, though.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to help too much. He really needed a hope for a miracle, maybe even a 3 in the black, because Rick Hinsey, someone I would never bet to miss this shot.
Well, he did already just lose a dart. It fell on the floor. That counts.
He only needs 1.
And if I'm his opponent, I'm telling him that.
Could have left it there. He only needs 1.
Yeah, he does only need 1 dart.
I'm going to hit it right here.
Nope. Wrong again, Nick. Maybe tomorrow. As Rick Hinsey does win that with a 4.93 average. He might as well just yawn as he gets that one accomplished. My goodness, he made that look easy. As Ken and Rick move on to take on Carlos and Jamie in our 4th place match. And hey, congratulations to Ken and Rick, as they are now in the money.
Money, money, money!
And congratulations to Brandon and John. Did all that work, taking out all those top shots to win nothing.
While falling 1 short of the money is never ideal, they have to be proud of the names they beat and the way they carried themselves on the Aki today. Shaking hands, smiling the whole way through, and that's what separates a good player from a professional player.
Nope, winning does that. I'm just kidding. You're absolutely right. I'm just
Sean
messing with
Green,
you.
a person that's never played a no cap in his life,
That is very
commenting
true.
it on there.
Very true, and I will be the first to admit it.
I see Will browsing around in chat there. I think he had something to say for us. He did not.
I did not, but I mean, I can make up something quick on the line if you want me to.
Ha! Hunter agreeing with me. St. Edwards is from Iowa. Liz was from the Sioux Falls, which we
Well,
did know
it must
that.
be Sioux City then. What's the Iowa Sioux? Sioux City, Sioux Falls, whatever. Same
Souffle.
thing. Same thing. No, I'm just kidding. Those ones can be easily mistaken.
Well, Correctionville for you. It's Iowa. See, I did that there.
All
See
righty.
Carlos dusting off the pitching mound.
Well, Enzi and Rip will move on over to board 1B for Carlos and Jamie.
Scott Hanisch goes, Sioux City, how dare you?
Fourth place match, right?
Yep,
is the
fourth
fourth
place.
place
So this is
match.
the last of the single game of cricket. Then it goes back to a double dip, then a triple dip scenario. And Scott, I just want to say I did see you briefly in the hall while I was out there filming. I wish I had a chance to actually talk to you and say hi. As much as we joke around, I really do want to get a chance to meet and talk with you. So hopefully I will this week. And also I want to say personal shout out. I know you stepped in because Ian Hansen could not make it to play with one of my Florida friends, Brandon Gaines, and he was highly appreciative and looking forward to meeting you. And as a new player, I really love the support of the game that you're doing.
Well, he says, go bang your head on a wall until I get
Hey,
back.
but you see that? Angie did confirm. Sioux City, Iowa is where he throws darts at it 30 minutes away. Ha-ha!
Let me give a big old eye roll for that.
Oh, I was semi-right?
Well, Sioux Falls City, it's all the same.
Jeez.
No, don't say
I
that
chose
because they are
violence.
definitely attacking us in there.
I know, I saw it, I saw
Jake
it.
says he's having a or Hunter says Jake is having a meltdown that you were saying Sioux
I
City
want to
and
go
Sioux
take
Falls
one
are
of
the
Jake's.
same.
I want to take one of Jake's jackets right now. Stop me.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
As the action is about ready to go, players getting these last few warm-ups in. You see, look at all those people watching to see how this concludes, because this bracket not only is intense, but it's telling its own story of these players excited to be back in person, playing a very tough match.
Yeah, cruising around 650 plus here for our viewership this evening. Great viewership. And tomorrow, remember, we have the men's CSI in the morning. We'll be live at 10:30 a.m. Central Time, going till about 4 is what we anticipate. Now, we could be a little bit sooner than that, but we'll be back for an evening session, 6 to 9, and then the same on Monday and Tuesday as well.
Yep.
Tuesday will probably be just the morning session.
Yes.
And also, I just want to remind everybody in chat, if we get over 1,500 viewers during the CSI, Will Stewart will dye his hair. Well, confirm?
I'm not dyeing my hair. I can confirm that for 100%.
Unless we hit 1,500 or more.
Nah, I will not dye my hair.
I tried, guys.
Now I will shave my head bald on top if you really want me to. Oh, and here comes John to assassinate me
trouble.
for saying Sioux Falls instead of Sioux City.
Sioux Falls City.
The giant killers of this event have entered the room. Luckily, we're all not giants.
All right, and they just got the diddle done. The darts are about to go. While there's some tough matches ahead, this is the match that all eyes are on. The entire no-cap bracket hinges on who comes out on top here.
It looks like the whole crew from outside just came into the booth here.
Yeah, we've been joined by 8 people mean-mugging us in the background.
All
They heard
players.
what we were saying. Now they're all
Even
here.
Brandon Neal, Mr. Bathroom Self, he was saying he was watching back the stream earlier to see what we were saying about him and Johnny Lackey.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm just going to remind John that he was my pick for the CSC, and but he brought his A game here today, didn't he?
And then I'm just going to remind Steve Diker, that's also in this room, that he's the best because he gave me a T-shirt.
All righty, here we go. Rickenzie, Ken Rip, Jamie Kopp, Carlos Saxby.
The key is starting strong. One game. It's all or nothing. The bigger the start, the harder they fall.
Well, Rick only gets a 4 mark to start.
And that's not really enough. I mean, if Jamie hits a 9 mark here, 7 mark, even a 6 mark, it makes things very interesting as far as position and what's going on.
Well, what about a 5 mark?
Oh, 5 mark's a little different.
What about a 4 mark?
Also a little different here. Now, Jamie needing to find one more of those sweet, sweet triples.
There's a 7. So Ken Rip, some work to do. 24-point lead now for Ken Rip and Rick Hensey. See what Carlos can do.
Carlos has been playing very consistent. He's letting, every time he steps up to Aki, just knows he's going to hit all 3 darts in the same segment. Whether it be big round or just consistent round, it is always there until I say it out loud.
Good call. Yeah, good call there. Broadcast school, you need to go back. We need to reteach you some.
Broadcast school, clown college. It's about the same here. Rick Hensey not clowning around. Finds a 20 on the first dart. Gets another. He looks like he's staying there.
Do you think darts is boring for Rick Hensey?
When you're that good, you're just that good.
Wow, that was you are John Madding it up.
I was just about to say, where's the Brett Favre?
Brett Favre is the greatest dart player to ever play the game.
We probably better not bring up Brett Favre at this instant because he probably is going to be in jail here soon.
You're right. Let's just talk about turducken. Have you had turducken?
Jamie has an option here. He's looking up.
And gets himself a 7. Back-to-back 7 marks.
You know, Cobb and Carlos have really been surprising in this event. They've been playing really well together.
And the alliteration of the names there really helps.
You're welcome.
What can I say except?
Well, Ken Rip, ladies and gentlemen, boom goes the dynamite. As Carlos Saxby now stepping up, finding themselves almost 100 points behind. And Will just hurt himself with how excited he got there.
Carlos having a rare misstep, something we haven't seen. Doesn't get any marks here.
Yeah, that's... and Rick Hensey's going to definitely make him pay for that.
Rick Hensey might as well be going by the Punisher from the way his darts are going. Needs to find one more 18. Might as well
when I
make it
miss
3.
on 18s, I don't miss inside just because the weight was poor.
Well, I watched you throw a couple 18s into the 13
still good.
The other day.
Crazy.
Jamie here needs to find a number and stay there too. If they want to take this leg, it's still one leg only. The pressure, the intensity, and the eyes are on this.
Yeah, unfortunately, the time is running out here for the Wisconsinites in this leg.
Well, if it's a proven fact, if they wear the Boom Goes Wisconsinite jersey, it's an absolute game changer. It adds 0.25 to every average.
Good math.
I like how you snapped, even though the mic couldn't pick that up, but I did. And that was for me.
Well, yeah, obviously. Ken gets a little clappity-clap that there. Really wanted the bowl. And now Chico has 16s or 15s. The options are aplenty. What option does he pick?
The option is all of them. He needs whatever one he picks. He's staying there. He needs to fill the basket. Not going to happen.
Why do you always throw out like terms for me for like a first time? Like you always use like housewife. Like needs to fill up the trash can. I don't know if he's gonna get that done. Like obviously it's called a bed.
I mean, you can call it a bed if you want, but I'm not sleeping in it as I can't even find it when I'm throwing at the board.
It's okay. You can't find the bed when you try to go to sleep. Anyway, you usually sleep on the floor. Rick Hensey, big 6 mark.
Jamie here to stay alive. Staying down all day on those 16s. You can't look away unless your dart has nowhere else to go. Takes a moment. He looks really focused. I mean, he's in prime shape. That's a tough, tough dart to get around there, depending where that flight is laying.
Yeah, actually, I'm okay where that first dart is because it's on the outside of the triple of the 8. That still left that segment pretty open for where he throws from. Ken Rip, though.
2 16s.
We've already seen him destroy this triple 16, triple 15 transfer. Trying to do it again. There it is. And now a 92-point lead. Heading to the Bulls for Chico.
Right now, it's looking like the numbers don't lie. They're spelling disaster for Carlos right there. He wanted a little bit more. Couldn't find it. Rick Hensey to try to shut it down right here. One more gets it.
I mean, just makes it look so easy. It's gross. But there you go. Rick Hensey, Ken Rip, ripping through the competition. And the Wisconsinites here is they're now fighting for third. This is where the reset starts. It is no longer just one leg of darts, bud. Tell us a little bit more.
So what we're looking at that third place match, you're going to see it goes first to a best of 3, race to 2. It's going to be cricket, 501 crickets. Not all cricket like we saw in the CSI. So we are going to definitely see a game of 0-1. So there's a little bit of a strategy behind that as well. If you win that first game, you're going second 0-1. At this level, is almost impossible to win if players are doing what they're supposed to be doing. So almost every time you're going to get to that tiebreaker. If the team of Isaac and Johnny loses that best of 3, there is still one more game of cricket to be played.
I could not have said that better myself, and that's why I asked you about it. And let me just give you a compliment. Never mind. All right, as Isaac and Johnny. Sorry. Isaac and Johnny have been on a tear, but will Ken and Rip? See, they just heard the joke. All right, guys. Well, Will just whispered whatever I want to do, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Calm down there, sir. Calm down there.
Well, guys, we have a treat for you. Apparently that last insult was the last straw. That is Johnny Lee. Johnny Jenkins, the regulator. Ken Rip, right there from Minnesota. Alongside Mr. Ken Rip is Mr. Rick Hensey, his partner. And I am joined by the GOAT, Will Stewart.
Yeah, I think that was the
Productions. I'm Sean Green.
Pretty sure that was the final straw for Nick. He was just like, and on that note,
That was
I'm
good
out.
though, right?
Yeah, that was great.
Came
That was
out of
great.
nowhere.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, that makes one of us.
Nick, not so much, maybe.
Yeah, he's crying right now.
That's all right. I may be having
Well,
a few tears.
We don't even have to look at the board to know who won that diddle. It was not Rick Hensey. So, Johnny and Isaac, this is where we need to reset our whole thing, bud. It is now a race to 2 here in the third place match. And Rick and Ken have to double dip.
So
Johnny and Isaac.
that would mean that it would be a race to 2 and then a one-leg shootout,
Yeah.
per se.
If needed.
If needed. So just to remind you folks at home what could happen here. As we'll get
I would like to say that the possibilities are endless, but they're really not. There's only one of 3 things that's going to happen. Either Isaac and Johnny are going to win this match, and they will be fighting out for second and first place with Jules and Mike Carter, or Rick and Ken are going to win this one, and we go to a second chance. And here is Johnny Lee stepping up, 60-point lead. Ken sitting on 38. And a good old donut there from Johnny. Johnny, I talked to him a bit earlier after the last match that we saw on stream from him. His arm has been bothering him, hurting. You can see him shaking it out there. He got offered some BioFreeze from Wisconsinite John Pilgrim. But Isaac is going to strap up that backpack and see if he can take Johnny for a ride through this match. It's getting tougher and tougher to do so, though. But Isaac, strapping up. Boom goes the dynamite, Isaac Robinson. And now Rick needs a lot of 18s. And that first dart's a bit of a hanger, Sarge. Gets it in there. But still a little bit behind. Again, guys, this is a race to 2. It is 0-0. This is leg number 1. Third place match. The winner of this match, if it is Johnny and Isaac, they will take us into the triple dip scenario with Jules and Mike Carter. Ken, Rip, and Rick Hensey trying to stay in this tournament. They will play a race to 2 here. Leg number 2 will be 501. Open and open out full bowl. So it'll be about who misses in that one. Yeah, it is full bowl in 01. Vaughn asking us in their chat. Rick just going to move over to the 15s nonchalantly. Hits 5 of them, not enough. Here in leg number 1. Johnny gets rid of the 15s. Goes back and points dart number 3. And Ken Rip gonna look at the bulls. Fills up the hat trick. Not enough though. No double bowls at all there. So Isaac, who's been throwing lights out, just needs 3 bowls. And there's 2 of them. That'll do it. 2 darts needed. That's it. A 5.45 from Isaac Robinson. These East Coast Knox Amusement guys coming out strong. 1-0 lead. Race to 2. They go to 501. Again, open in, open out. Full bowl. I will tell you that is not my favorite format of 01. Especially for this high level. And right now, with those first 2 darts, Rick has given the throw to Isaac and Johnny already. As here is Isaac. Yeah, definitely takes control of the leg early in this one. That won't be the only hat trick we see, guys. I do want to remind everyone, darts is not this easy. This is the open division, the highest of the high of skill level. Johnny Lee looking to keep us perfect for Knox Amusement. Not going to do that. And guys, I was all by myself until I was joined again by the GOAT.
Well, a little surprise moment there as Jim came back to chat real quick, so had to oblige to that one. So sorry to leave you hanging, buddy.
Hashtag Will Stewart's fired.
Again? Encompass Vending Inc. Encompass Processing LLC saying, hey, all shoot well. Corey Drake, I remember I was on here and I was going crazy. Worldwide Darts tuned in to say strategy, only in the strategy type of way. Barb Harris saying shoot well. Hi, Will and Sean. What's up, Barb? Ken Rip leaves 112, but this is for the match here for Johnny Lee. If he takes out this 120 and you can single out, it's open out. This is not the most difficult finish. Just bullseye, bullseye. Not going to do it, though, and he is not happy.
Yeah, you can see that frustration on his face right there.
And here's why. Because you have Rick Hensey coming up with 112 left. And if you're Rick Hensey, you just go, bullseye, 12, bullseye, thank you. Let's move on to a last leg decider. Let's change
Bullseye.
that score. 12 and bullseye. Let's move on to a last leg decider.
I guess the score's right now just because it was wrong, and I went ahead and preemptively set that to 1-1, I guess.
1-1.
That's quite
This
all right.
diddle is important. Royal in there saying, boom goes the apple and cherry pie. You ain't a wolfin'.
We need to get on Scuba for that one.
Yeah, he hasn't given it to us yet. Isaac going to throw all 3 darts. None of them actually got beat Rick Hensley's start. So Rick can say, choose either of them. Last leg decider, cricket.
Yeah, he was
Do you
going
give the advantage to Ken and Rick, or do you give it to Isaac and Johnny, bud?
Hensley's going to get the start here. I expect a 7 mark. We'll see. We'll see what he does. But this is for the opportunity to meet Jules and Mike Carter, potentially, for Isaac and Robinson and Jenkins.
Well, Rick's going to have to change a tip because it's stuck in that top corner pocket there, the trip 20.
If Hensley and Rip do win this, they got a double dip, like we said. So it'll be a 1-leg shootout, potentially.
Isaac, try not to let that happen. We need to say it. Isaac Robinson, for those of you who don't know who he is, you should now. Plays for Knox, or works for Knox Amusement, full time. Doesn't get to play very often. When he does, he's a 5.0 plus average. He's showing every bit of that. But Ken Rip and the Minnesotans, another 7 mark. Johnny Lee needs a lot of 17s to keep them in this one. That one right on the wire. Also on the wire, but the wrong side. And throws up the arms. Knows that the shot that he had was with 120 left in 0-1.
Hensley going to go 17s here. Close them out. Onto the 16s.
Stay there.
Yep.
Gets him.
Big shot there as it looks like Hensley and Rip will secure a double dip situation.
Well, again, the thing is, this is not really a last leg decider yet. If Ken and Rick win it, because they still have to win the 1 leg of cricket.
Yeah, Triple elimination. Tricky, tricky, tricky.
Ken does his job. 3 big 15s, closes them out. And 4 beds to work with. Makes the point total not really matter a whole lot. But we might be going to 1 game of cricket for the whole kit and caboodle here of the 3rd place.
Appreciate you using that, as I use it recently, and everybody said, "What was that?" Bring it
Danny, I
back.
apologize.
1 more bowl. How about a double? Winner, chicken dinner for Ken, Rip, and Rick Hensley, as it looks like we're going to go to a decider.
Hey, let's go ahead and diddle it up right here, right now. We're going to see what these gentlemen are going to do. They're talking it over.
Making sure they're correct on what it should be. I think Ken's actually pulling out that old pesky tip there.
Yeah, Rick is.
Over on our board number 1B, there's your king seat holders. Mike Carter, Jules Van Dongen. I think there's a little confusion on the format as Isaac's asking just to confirm.
Yep, you still have to get beat by in 1 leg. And also, what that does, even with Ken and Rick winning that one, is it does put Jules and Mike in a better position than they already were in. Just because they now only have to beat the teams 1 time. Either team 1 time. And it's over.
That is correct. That is correct, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Just a subtle nod of success. There you go.
Every once in a while I get one, right? There's my one for the evening.
You and me both, brother. You and me both.
My good friend Sean McPeak spilling some tea over here in the chat.
Looks like we're diddling it up here.
Maybe.
Possibly. I think.
Johnny's going to show him one.
Yep. I think it's where you are in the bracket that decides that cork.
Yep. And a couple holes out of the double. Rick's going to be okay with that one. Left-handed. The double bowl is wide open from the left-hand side.
In there.
And he gets it.
A double for Hinsey.
So, looks at the camera, gives a little peeky peek. We're going to last leg decider here. Ken Rip, Rick Hinsey will go first against Johnny Lee. And Isaac Robinson as Johnny gives a little snatch there to his dart. Just give me that.
Get that out of here. You going to bank off my dart? Can't do that.
Sean asking when him and I are going to play together. I assumed he could get better partners than me. If that's not the case, then let me know.
All righty, these guys will give it a little tap there as we get going.
Here we go.
Hinsey to start us off.
Last leg decider. Gets a 5 mark to get us rolling, which is about the bare minimum.
Sorry for the slight bit of hiccup on the player feed for this one. Been off and on issue for us, so we're going to be trying to...
Yeah, it's just dirty air.
Yeah, we're going to be trying to work on that one in the background, see what we can do for that. But first time streaming 4 boards this go round, so...
Yeah, guys, let us know.
Yeah, let us know what you think of the coverage so far.
Absolutely.
Has it been good? Any improvements that need to be made? We always try to improve every stream we go to, every event. That's our goal. That's what we strive to do here at USA Darts.
As Johnny Lee trying to get more than just 3 marks, they're not going to get it done. I fully expect Rick to close the 17s and possibly close the door on the 18s.
Real quick, I wanted to say a big shout out to Eddie Murphy, who's a guy that has followed our YouTube channel a long time. Appreciate you, sir, tuning in. Definitely appreciate it, as you always are commenting on our USA Darts YouTube page, letting us know your thoughts on things. Big shout out to you, buddy.
Stuart in there saying, love excellent streams, gents. Love the humor as well. Well, we appreciate that. There's not much we can do about the humor aspect of it. Either are going to take it with a grain of salt, or you might mute us.
Hey,
the other.
We try to have a little mix of fun in here as well as seriousness.
Ken has been perfect on that 16-15 transfer. Gets it done once again. I mean, just been killer on those 16s and 15s, shutting the door. As Johnny Lee is laughing on the outside, but you can see the insides are not looking the same.
David asking about coverage is great. Wish you guys would start when the bracket starts, but I understand. Yeah, the multi-day coverage is kind of tough. It's pretty tough to be here. I mean, whether you like it or not, we were here at 7 a.m. this morning.
We sure were.
Yeah. For the women's walk-on, we recorded that and played it as well. It's a special thing we wanted to do, but yeah.
We walked in
Appreciate
with
the
the
input.
very first people walking in, and that's just, we got it done. But speaking of getting it done, Rick Hinsey and Ken Rip are now in the finals.
Yeah,
but they have a daunting task, as they have to slay the dragon, so to speak. That is the Dutch dragon, Jules Van Doggen, and his partner Mike Carter have been throwing lights out so far in this tournament. They need to beat them 3 matches in a row to win this thing. Do you think they can get that done, bud?
It's an awfully tough task, but Hinsey and Rip can do it. They've been playing together for a while. Let's see if they can do it when we return. Our finals will be next. Mike Carter, Jules Van Dongen taking on Rick Hinsey and Ken Rip. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back.
Hit that share button.
And we're featuring target darts all October long, starting with our dart of the month, which is going to be the HEMA darts range. Purchase any target HEMA barrel and you're going to receive a free gift consisting of select assortment of 3 target flights. We're also offering select target accessories for a discounted price, including our huge variety of Swiss points, as well as an assortment of shafts that are all red in color. So we've got the Pro Grip Evo shafts, the standard Pro Grip shafts, and also the Pro Grip Ink. So the idea is you can complement your new HEMA barrels and have everything match. We also are offering the black pixel tips, and finally select Tacoma cases. For example, the red ink case, one of my favorites. So match up with your HEMAs. And finally, A to Z Darts is offering a Think Pink promotion. So you can select printed L-Style flights. If you buy 2 sets, you're going to receive a free L-Style goodie bag consisting of flights, Laro shafts, and tips. So that's like a $18 value. So it's a pretty sweet free gift for what you're putting in for the sale. Think Pink, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the month of October. Have a great Halloween. Love you. Bye.
Now there are 5 total options in the HEMA range, 3 steel tip labeled 01 through 03 and 2 soft tip variants labeled 10 and 11 with multiple barrel weights for each option. Now common themes that they all share are bold red and black accents along a silver barrel. They all have striking radial grooves in certain.
Well, welcome back to Kansas City, Missouri for TOC 2022. The open bracket for doubles brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts. I'm Sean Green, your play-by-play man, and I am pleased to be joined by the GOAT, Mr. USA Darts himself, William T. Stewart.
I'll never get used to the GOAT statement from you, sir. It's just unnecessary and not needed. I'll tell you that right now. But here we are, folks, for the finals. Looking forward to this one, as it's Jules Van Doggen, Mike Carter taking on Ken Rip and Rick Hinsey. Should be a great match here.
Hit that like button, hit that share. Rick and Ken need to triple dip.
A little triple dip action.
Which is crazy.
For those wondering, this will be our final match this evening on the stream. As after this, I think there's still some stuff going on out in the hall, but we'll kind of prepare for a CSI in the morning as well as the walk-on and our day tomorrow. It's going to be a busy one tomorrow as well.
As you see, Jules Van Doggen, the Dutch Dragon himself, PDC professional. The only man here this weekend with a PDC tour card. Rick Hinsey, though, don't care anything about that. Boom goes the dynamite Rick Hinsey. The Minnesotan is on the board, filling up the 19 bed. And Mike Carter, Arizona native. Guys, welcome to the finals.
And
my goodness.
And that's why these folks are here.
We've gone 7-9-7. 7 have been the first rounds of each of the 4 players. 7-9-7-7.
Even Jules giving a nod of approval to that shot.
This is, oh boy, buckle up. I hope you have your seatbelts on. Because a 9 mark there for Jules and gets a little nod. Boom goes the Dragon. There.
Got a question in here. How is a PDC tour card holder allowed to play in this tournament? I thought their PDC contract prohibits. Actually, it does not. As long as it's not a ranking event, such as a amateur WDF event.
Yep.
This is actually a professional event. They can play in it, and he got the go-ahead to be streamed this weekend as well. So that's why we're featuring him on the stream right now. And thank you to Alan Warren Little and the PDC for allowing that to happen.
Yes, we cannot thank them enough for that. Very nice of them to let us film Jules. And this great coverage here live at TOC 2022. My goodness, they start off 9 mark, 7 mark, I believe 7 mark, and are losing in the match currently. Scott Hannish, don't worry about it. You don't have to know. Sorry, I had to. I had to do it once. Jeff McMahon says Saturday night doubles here at the Tournament Champions 2022. Jeff McMahon.
Yeah, but I was reading that
a great comment there in the chat, giving us some awesome feedback.
Here he's going to be helping you guys out for the Continental Cup, correct?
He is, yeah. Ton 80 Live, his company does great motion graphic work and graphic work altogether. So we're excited to have him on as an editor for the Continental Cup. It's going to be a great time.
Good
Mike
stuff.
Carter, just doing Mike Carter things. Throws in a solid 5. They are keeping Ken and Rick at arm's length. Oh, God. Well, Scott Hannish is on a different level right now.
Good old Scott Hannish. Going upstairs.
Stay there. He did not like the fact that he had to stay there. Did you see that?
You could tell that he was a little uneasy with that look.
Well,
and Hinsey don't like that one.
That was a Sean Green shot right there, which is never a compliment. I do always like to say if you're going to miss by 2, but not like that.
Man, that's the first time that our camera's been somewhat in the way there, as we saw a little Hinsey head in view.
That was actually a really cool shot. Did you notice that the first dart going in the 11, dart number 2 and dart number 3 both kissed off the flight of the dart that was in the 11?
Yep. See, I think Rip and Hinsey used his Q-Soul flights. I think they used that double spring. So, I don't, maybe something
Mike Carter does.
Yeah, maybe something to do with it.
Jules is just going to, his job is to close the 15s, gets that done. And you know what? Normally I don't like doubles in cricket. When it's a double bowl, however, that makes all the difference.
Well, you know I'm a fan, whether it's on the outside or the very middle of the board. I'm always good for a double in cricket. Carter looking to wrap this leg up, make
The
this
closer,
1-0.
Mike Carter, wins leg number 1. This is all cricket here in this first match. 1-0, Jules and Mike. As we go to leg number 2 of this cricket race to 2, match number 1. If it does go to a 1-loss match, it'll be cricket 0-1 cricket. Rick Hinsey would love to do that. Gets a 7 mark. Guys, I have to point this out right away. Darts is not this easy. Just not this easy of a game. These guys make it look so easy. These guys are hitting and missing by millimeters. That is the difference in this type of sport.
I actually had a person come up to me and say, man, you got to get some of these good people off the stream. I said, why? He said, it's not fun to just see him hit 9 mark after 9 mark after 9 mark. I said,
And
what?
your rebuttal is, yeah,
Yeah, it is. What are you talking about?
Brett Shin saying, love these teams, but Rip and Hinsey. I'm going to guess he meant, I don't know. He probably meant Rip and
Carter brushes that one off, not happy with it. He's only able to come up with the trip 17. Hinsey going to look to close these pretty quick, and he does.
The good news is that Jules and Mike have room for error. Rick and Ken don't at this point.
Oh, yeah, correct.
They are
You're 100%
one leg from
correct.
death. Not like, you know, real life death, but, you know, there's tournament death.
So Mark Bond letting us know Hinsey uses Q-Soul AK4 Tarot flights with the AK7 Tarot shafts.
We do appreciate that information when we get it. They're playing for about $180. Not about. It's a $180 difference between first and second.
Jason Watt asked, did you guys tuck in Nick already? I think that Sean tucked him in with a somewhat of a compliment, and then he denied him of it. So he skedaddled out the production area real quick.
Yeah, he's crying somewhere. And I take full responsibility for that with a smile on my face. Mike Carter and Jules trying to end this tournament. Oof, 7 of them. And what a cool angle that was, just to see the darts fly almost the entire distance to the dartboard. Rick Hinsey, 15s. Is he looking away? He's looking away. Jules, if you're Jules, you stay on the 15s the whole way? There's no reason to move.
Yeah, I think he'll pop 2. He could. Yeah, he's not going to take a look. He'll stay right there.
Stay there.
Yeah, he'll stay right there. Boom.
Goes the dragon.
There you go.
9 mark for Jules Van Dongen. Just letting Mike know.
Does he take a stab? No, he's not going to take a stab.
He
Oh,
did
he
take
did.
a stab.
I was going to say, if there's one to do it, Rip would be the one. He's been hitting those 16s and 15s consistently.
Huge darts. He has. That transfer has been wonderful. Mike Carter shakes his head on the last dart. Hey, it counted as a mark, which is how a level 22 player like myself would think about that. Hey, let's go to a last leg decider, bud, in this first match.
Let's go.
5.73 there from Rick Hinsey. Guys, hit that like button, hit that share button. We are here. Are we going one more leg? Are we going 2 more matches? The possibilities are endless. That's a little bit of a good blocker, though, from Rick. because Jules throws a little bit from the right side of the line. That's about the best hanger for a right-handed dart player.
Tough to work around as that just goes right off of it.
But it's Jules Van Dongen. He waves off the fact that he went double bowl there.
Like it's no big deal at all. And I just wanted to say, it wouldn't be 2 more matches. It'd just be 1 after this, right? Because Hensey and Rip are in the last leg. Are they in the bottom half of the bracket?
Yes, but it doesn't matter. So if Rick and Ken win this one, they go to another match where it is Cricket, 0-1 Cricket. If they happen to win that one, then they do go to a 1-leg match for the decider of everything.
There we go. A little explanation for you of how that works. For those that may be unfamiliar, maybe you're a steel tip player just used to the single elimination side of things. Maybe you're used to double elimination instead of the triple. So just a little reiteration there, or explanation.
Well, Bradley Smith tuning in saying hello from Florida. We still don't have power yet. Well, Bradley, we are all thinking about everyone that is affected by Hurricane Ian, including yourself. Hopefully power gets turned on soon. In the meantime, you can see the power of great darts going, hopefully. Rick Hensey just nonchalantly throws 7 mark. Rick Hensey just makes it look so easy.
Hensey doing Hensey things, man. Nonchalantly closing numbers like it's no big deal.
Mike preferring the 17s versus the 18s. And the bold move almost paid off for him, Cotton. Ken Rip, 19s first. He's been on a tear.
Yeah, those 16-15s for him has just been unbelievable. He's really helped out Rick in that effort.
Big darts from Ken Rip.
That 7 mark will help as well.
Jason Watt saying Hensey reminds me of a left-handed Jake Taylor. That is quite the compliment.
Yeah, a little bit quicker release, but yeah, I mean, for sure, I could see that.
Same smooth
Yeah,
release.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Rick almost makes it look even more nonchalant, though. And that's saying a lot, too, because the truth makes it look very easy. Rick almost looks like he's just throwing darts for fun and then gets upset when it misses a triple.
Well, I'm interested to see if he starts going into more of the steel tip side of things as well. We saw him at Music City, which was kind of his first time doing that one. He said it was a fun experience. Possibly see him again. Big triple there. Does he find another here?
You move
Does he take his chances?
Oh, yeah. Oh. I will be your hero, baby. Doesn't get it done in that one, though. And Ken Rip. There's a lot of 19s. Staying right there the whole way. Gets 6 of them. 98-point advantage. 96-point advantage. There's the point lead. Oh, wow. Jules looking for the close there, does not get it. We are seeing really just one dart make a difference here depending on the leg. If I'm Rick, I almost look at it just because I'm blocked, but it's Rick Hensey who can just go right through it, and he does so with a 7 mark on the 19s. Who is going to miss first?
Doesn't look like any of these guys are going to miss.
And Mike even, for fun, just switched wedges there to point.
How about this? 1,000 messages today are in this stream on all our platforms.
Congratulations
that.
to everyone in our chat who's been tuning in with us. Cannot tell you how much we appreciate it. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Sean Green, Will Stewart, USA Darts here live at the 2022 9th Annual Tournament of Champions in Kansas City, Missouri at the KCI Expo Center.
Yeah,
Over $2 million in payouts this weekend.
And almost 800 on all our platforms tuning in. Great stuff.
Jules gets the double 19, which acts as a single. Tie ball game in points. If I'm Rick, if I had that trip 16, I might have closed both the other numbers. Gets a 5 mark. Opens up that new wedge.
Let's see if Carter elects to take a look here. Yeah, all day. Oof. He says, come on.
He's getting frustrated. He's throwing 7 mark, 7 mark, 7 mark, frustration. Ken Rip has loved those 16s and 15s. Only gets 4 of them, though. Jason asking about the little dip down from Jules. I have noticed that too. It is an interesting move that he's making, but it's working. It's happening after he releases the dart. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, it's definitely more of a prominent head nod than he normally does as well, and kind of releases out.
Rick gets a 5 mark, kind of just throws his hands up and kind of like a, well, whatever. Mike Carter. Takes a pause. I like that move there. Make sure the math is correct. It's tough math. He did go for the close, which I agree with based on the math.
Yeah, why not take your chances? I mean, they have the opportunities to take chances. They are the king's seat, and they have a couple sets to go if they do lose.
And Ken does not make him pay for that anyway. Jules can win this right here. Definitely can win it right here. But not if he doesn't shoot for it. Just want to make sure it's clear. As Rick's looking at the bowls. Only gets 2, but they know their time is running out. The closer, Mike Carter.
Coming in for the 1, 2, 3.
Only needs the 1, 2, 3. Gets it done.
There it is.
Congratulations to your champions of the Open doubles event here at TOC for the 9th annual Tournament of Champions. Jules Van Dongen, Mike Carter taking it down.
What a fun, entertaining final that was. We have a good little crowd in attendance as well. Shout out to those individuals for staying and enjoying our coverage here this one. And we're not done. We're not anywhere close to being done, folks. We got a lot more coming your way this weekend on USA Darts and partners promoting darts. Hang with us as we continue our coverage throughout the weekend and Monday and Tuesday. So don't want to forget those days as well. But how about a little quick shout out to that crowd there? Look at that.
Yeah,
nice
good look
crowd
there at all the people watching along. You can probably get a good look at the picture being taken for Jules and Mike. Swinging around there. Look at that. And all Rick and Ken can do is just sit there and watch them. He goes, let me take a picture of you.
He says, can I get a picture with both? I think that might be... Nah, maybe. I don't think that's Jules' dad, actually. Never mind.
But there you go. Gets it accomplished. And hats off to the Minnesotans of Rick Hensey and Ken Rip. Running all the way through to second place. There is, that's nothing to sneeze at.
No, it is not.
They beat some tough teams.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did indeed. And there's Dancing Danny. How about that? A little Danny Floyd action.
There
Zoom in
you
on
go.
him just because he can give us a good one here. Is he sitting there jiving already? There it is. Come on, give us something.
They're showing off their ink to each other there.
Oh, man. Well, folks, that is going to do it for our coverage this evening. We're going to be back in action tomorrow. Right.
Eric Larson is too late for that. Maybe tomorrow.
10:30 a.m. Central Time, folks. Join us right here on USA Darts and Partners Promoting Darts for the men's CSI, the Cricket Singles Invitational.
And I'm going to lose about 30 pounds between tonight and tomorrow, so I'm better prepared for that camera tomorrow.
Well, folks, thanks for joining us. It's been great. We'll see you tomorrow for more TOC 2022 action. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.